All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijacked podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris Unholy Jesus.
What's up, universe? What's good?
What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the Media Hijacked.
Hell yeah, we are back.
We love you guys.
That's like Barry
Thank you
White
guys
for
for coming back.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So once again, if you guys want to buy some t-shirts, just go to themediahijack.com, grab some t-shirts. And for iTunes people, rate and subscribe.
Please.
You know the routine. We're going to say it every week. And for the people that's listening on the road, on the long, lonely road, you guys can catch us live. If you guys want to watch us live in person, come to twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/themediahijack.
Hell yeah.
All links in the description. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, can I do a quick shout out too?
Go for it.
To Bruce Campbell. He be out here on social media shouting us out.
Bruce Campbell.
He did a recording. I forgot to show you earlier before the show started. He did like a little recording of him driving, and he's like listening to us.
For real?
While he's driving. He's like,
damn.
I listen to him like when I go on my runs, like going to work, and to and from.
That's some real love,
and
man.
shout out to him, and he bought a shirt from us too. So
fuck yeah.
So he out here.
Does he like the shirt?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I need to ask him about that. But he does like how we rationalize a lot of shit. We break shit down a lot. We ain't really leaning to one side or another. We're very subjective, I guess. So
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Bruce, man. Wherever you at.
Thank you, dude.
Love you, buddy, man. You be safe out there.
You enjoy your run or your car ride.
Yes.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
We'll give you a digital hug and a high five. High five, dude. Yeah. Well, one more. There it is.
I had to reach across that one.
Cool, man. Thank you, Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So the main topic, we're just going to start on the main topic first. We're going to be talking about Netflix Cuties controversy.
Yes.
Controversy.
Controversial.
My English suck. Yeah, and if you guys aren't joining us on Twitch today, we're actually in a new studio. We're actually in the Joe Rogan studio. We got to use this.
Yes.
We're actually in Austin, Texas right now.
Yes, we are. He left, and we shook hands, dapped him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, you guys take care of this place. Don't fuck it up." And here we are.
If you think we're lying, come visit.
Yeah. Try us,
please.
please.
Like you just want to bait us so we can come see you. Duh.
Yeah. Hello, that's the point. Holy shit.
Straight up, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So this Netflix movie called Cuties, which is crazy because if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, this is a movie about little girls between the ages of 11 and 13, and they look like little children, maybe 6 years old. They look like little 6-year-olds. And on Rotten Tomato, they got 90%.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it right now.
From like the critics and shit.
Yes.
And then from the regular audience is 11%. But the crazy thing is, there's no featured comments from the regular audience. The only comments you can get is from like top critics.
And when I explain what the fuck happens in the movie, I get why. I get it.
People who are paid to give them a good review. People who are still on the Jeffrey Epstein payroll.
Yeah, the
from the grave.
The guys that said they don't want comments from like us ordinary folks. They don't want that shit because they will. I'll explain that. But yeah, like I say, like 90% of Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic gave 68%, and at 2.2 out of 10 on IMDb. I didn't care too much for this shit.
I actually didn't see the movie, but Chris, he actually did it for research
purposes. Yes,
I told him, hey, just go watch it just for the research. Just look over your back, make sure SWAT doesn't kick your door down.
Yes, I closed all my windows before I started. I was like, all right, let me close these windows, got everything together. Because I had just got home when he had told me, hey, let's do about Cuties. I was like. And I just got home from Atlanta Deli. I'm like, I'm about to eat some wings. I guess while I watch it, cause these lemon pepper wings, because, so settle down, put it on, and, well. So I'm going to talk about this movie. And it's, okay, let me try to get my thoughts together for this. Because it's, how can I start? Okay, so there's been a lot of controversy, right? A lot of people saying it's like about pedophiles I think a lot of people who dislike this movie have not seen it yet. That's what I get from it.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. Like a lot of the hate came from people who haven't even seen the movie. That's where I was like, okay, like maybe the movie is trying to convey like a positive message, like not to sexualize girls like that.
Oh.
But then I heard like YouTubers say like they thought it was like that too. But then when they watched it, they're like, they have a weird way of showing that.
It did.
because it almost looks like they're just,
yeah.
you know, just making videos on little girls and shit.
Yeah, and
I mean, I didn't see it, so I don't know.
And the thing is, I blame this shit solely on fucking Netflix. Whoever's your marketing guy, fire him, because this movie was in Sundance and won some awards and shit like that. And the poster that they used at Sundance was like, you know, like the main girls, like they're walking down the street and they're throwing like confetti in the air. And that's like kind of like, you know, pretty innocent, right?
Yeah, it's a French movie.
Yeah, in a French movie. Yep. And so Netflix winds up putting out a poster of the movie where the girls are wearing like these little dance outfits, belly exposed and shit like that, like Daisy Dukes and all that. And I can see where it's like, why would you promote that for the movie when it's like, I mean, the movie goes into that aspect of it, but it's like what audience are you trying to reach for with this type of like, I mean, it worked because people are talking about it. So I got
a theory on this.
Oh, you want to jump into that right now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's good though.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this shit because I got some theories on some shit about this movie too. But so anyways, let me start out with this. All right, so the movie is about takes place in Paris. Actually, no, just France. Like, you know, Paris and nothing like that.
France.
But it's about this young girl, France. It's about this young girl named Amy, right? She's lives in this household who is like super duper like conservative, right, with religion. She's like 11 years old.
That's where they cover like their head most. Like they cover most of the body.
Yeah. They have like they do like prayer time and like I think like around noon or whatever, and then I think they do it like 3 times.
So
a day.
What's their religion?
Muslim. She's Muslim.
Oh, okay.
And could we say this? Yeah. Well, she's Muslim, but it's like Islam. It's like it's a religion, and so they do their prayers and all that.
She didn't like that.
Yeah, basically in the household. And then within the movie, she lives in this completely strict household of like religion and what they perceive of what when a woman is supposed to be a woman. And while she's living in this household, she kind of sees like how her mother has gone through this lifestyle as well, has grown up within this religion and this conservative household. And there's a scene in the movie. I can't remember how Amy ends up under the bed of her mom's bed, but she's under the bed. And Amy's mother, all you see is like Amy's mother walking in the room, sits on the bed, and she's on the phone. And I think she's talking to her husband, which is Amy's father. She winds up finding out that Amy's father is getting a second wife. And the mother's like, okay, yeah, everything's fine, And then she winds up hanging up the phone, and her husband starts breaking down crying.
Wait, the husband's crying?
No, Amy's mother.
Oh,
Amy's
mom.
mother crying. And Amy starts, while she's underneath the bed, she's crying as well, too, because...
Is that a normal thing, though?
I mean, yeah, like polygamy, like, and that type of shit, yeah, they could, that within that culture, a lot of times they can get, like, definitely more than one wife. Easily. But it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, but is it, like, a normal thing, like, within the family, like, the wife already know that's bound to happen?
I mean, yeah, well, I know, like, a lot of times it's like, from my understanding, sometimes in some cultures, like, if you get more than one wife, you have to treat them all equally across the board. But at the same time, it's like, while the mother is with this culture and this religion and all that, it seems almost as if the mother isn't really down for this as well too. Cause she's like breaking down, crying over because she probably really loved this man or whatever. But he's gonna get married to this woman. He's gonna get a second wife, and they're gonna move into their apartment. So they're gonna share a bedroom together, and she'll be sleeping in a room by herself,
clapping them cheeks
in the next room while wife
the
number
mom
one
is in the kitchen,
probably making scrambled eggs or some shit and toasted strudels or something. I don't fucking
all
know.
she hears clap,
Like-
clap.
And she's like, "Hey,
Hey,
breakfast
what
is
you
ready?
guys watching?
Are y'all fighting?" like so, and it's, and then so so this kind of sets up the girl Amy in the movie, right? To where she sees that her mother's going through this shit, and she knows her mother isn't happy. The mother is like with this religion so hard that she's willing to grin and bare her teeth just to go along with it because that's how society is raising her. Like it's always taught her to be that way. Amy ain't with that shit, so Amy starts going outside more, going to be around other people. When she comes across these group of girls. They started trying a dance group or whatever. They call themselves the Cuties, and then they went like fucking Daisy Dukes and shit, dancing and all this other shit. And that's the one was like
Some belly shirts,
all that shit. And she's kind of like, hey, I like this because they seem like they're happy and they're like free spirited. That's what I want to be like. And so she starts going along with them. She has a rough time getting involved.
She want to be like with the cool crowd,
with the cool kids, I guess. Like,
she's tired.
I didn't think that was cool when I was watching. I'm like, these motherfuckers are corny, but. I guess that's what passes off at school nowadays. I don't know, but she wants to be involved in that group. And the more she starts wanting to be involved with them, she starts rejecting her lifestyle at home. And it starts to show with her attitude, like her and her mother start butting heads, this, that, and the third. And eventually she winds up joining this group and they become like a little dance group or whatever. and it winds up showing that over time she winds up. The movie shows a very good contrast of like it shows a very good contrast of like how basically like this girl Amy, she's like stuck in the middle of like she's 11 years old and she's stuck in this lifestyle of where she's having an identity crisis and she has to make a choice about, hey, like, do I stick with the conservative side and be stuck in this world where I don't really have any agency? I'm just there to make babies for a man who can have as many wives as he wants. Or should I take this other side of being this free spirited world? But these girls are being basically like, they're living in a toxic lifestyle of like everything they see off the internet, everything they view from like, mainstream media. That's what they're starting to perceive as what a woman is. And they're kind of like, okay, we gotta be hoes or dance and dress like loose clothes and shit in order to get
like
a
they
man.
don't see it like that though. Like they don't see it as like, hey, we gotta be hoes.
And the girls don't see it like that. It's more
They just
like
see like the fun part, like the dancing and the
some of the fun parts of it, and as well as like some of them do see as like, okay, like guys, like boys, and that boy crazy is like as fuck. But their main
11
thing,
years old. Like what grade is that?
oh shit, it gotta be what, 5th, 6th grade, maybe. Gotta be like 5th grade, some shit, like somewhere around that range.
Yo, hold on.
Yeah.
Baconator, what's up, dude? I see you, man. I'll letting Chris finish his story.
Yes. Sorry,
But continue.
okay. So, sorry. So she winds up having she has this very hard choice to make of where like what way that she wants to go in her life because she sees her mother is not happy in this lifestyle. But the further she goes left to try to be with these girls, she actually starts becoming very toxic herself, and she becomes like, it gets to a point in the movie where I'm like, I fucking hate this little girl, like. Because she's starting to get caught up into it and all this other stuff to the point where she's doing wild shit, like takes a picture of her little snatch and everything and posts it online. Like she's doing wild shit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yes.
So she took a picture of her vagina, like in the movie, and then she posted up on the internet. But why did she do that though?
Okay, so there's a scene in the movie.
Which is crazy as fuck. I don't know why they put that in the movie.
Well,
That's
granted,
why a lot of people are, I guess they're super disgusted with this film.
Well, granted, like, and it was kind of like, the thing with the movie is like this. Actually, they didn't even show that part. I mean, they showed her take a picture, but you didn't see nothing of it or nothing like that. She's just kind of like,
I'm pretty sure you didn't see nothing.
oh God, yeah, they didn't show a goddamn thing. But anyways, like she basically the cell phone that she wound up using was like her father's cell phone, but he's never there, and that's how she was able to start posting shit on social media and all that. Like she started off like, and anybody knows when social media first started out, especially with females, a lot of females at first was like duck lips, taking like trying to get that angle, the head turned sideways, like the neck's broke, all types of shit. And that's what she was doing, and that's how she started getting her set up a little social media account, whatever, and that's how she started putting herself out there. And then recording on a group of friends, dancing. The movie shows like I think the main point of the movie is like it shows that you can't like how it is for like
the transition.
Because it's basically a coming age story of how a female who's grown up in a religious household is also having to choose between that and like she wants to be like free from that lifestyle, but she goes way too far left to where it's like. And it's not like she has bad intentions of doing it. It's like these girls are just happy, free spirited, but at the same time,
it's like reckless. Like the balance is off.
She gets reckless when she starts taking pictures of her snatch and then post it up. That's when it's like
that's crazy. Imagine your kid doing that shit.
God,
that's why I don't have kids.
When the mom finds out, she's like, "What the fuck is everybody talking about?" But she's like beating the shit up, slapping around.
Ooh, imagine the mom. You know, the mom being in that type of religion where all that shit is fucking forbidden.
Yo, it's on some real shit.
She finds out her daughter's taking a picture of her vagina, posting that shit online, and then everybody in the community talks about it. And that's your daughter's vagina.
And she was getting pissed. And like, actually, I would say my favorite person in the movie was the mother because she's trying to play it cool the whole time. Trying to like everything's fine. Her husband's getting a second wife, and then moving into the motherfucking place, and she has to deal with her daughter acting like this. And she shows them like some scenes. I'm like, woo, like just kill everybody else and just go hide and like just get a new identity because I was like, damn, she can put through the shit on this. But I mean, I don't know. So I think at the end of the day, the movie is supposed to like talk about like this one girl who they're trying to define like society from both sides. Because in my opinion, Amy the girl was fucked either way. Either she goes to the religious side and she's gonna be like a baby making machine to a man that's gonna eventually move on and start finding other women, or she goes left where she's gonna be objectified for her sexuality. So she was kind of like she was fucked either way, no matter which way she went. She's kind of like at the end of the day, and from what I took away from the end of the movie, the world tries to push a lot of people like around 11, 12, 13, 14, especially in the age of the internet, to want to grow up way too fast. She wasn't even learning how to be a kid first before she was like trying to like everybody's trying to make her want to be an adult, including from a religious side. And so it painted that very good contrast. Now, don't get me wrong. This movie is cringy as fuck. There's dance scenes. I'm like,
A lot of twerking.
a lot of twerking.
A lot of ass shaking. And then the
scene,
humping the ground.
Humping the ground. Yes.
I saw the trailer.
Humping the ground.
I was like,
shit.
what the fuck
it
is
is
she doing?
Cringy as fuck. And I'm just kind of like, all right, man. I'm like, hurry up and get to this shit. Like, I get it. And I guess the lady who, I can't remember the lady's name who directed the movie. But she, I guess she grew up in that same type of household as well, too. Like, very conservative, religious, and all that.
Minus the internet.
Minus the internet. So if she's around our age, if I'm not mistaken.
The internet adds a little texture to it.
And hell yeah, it actually makes it much, much worse. But it kind of shows signs of like how they're being overexposed or being used in some ways from both sides. Like for example, there's a part in the movie where the girl Amy, she gets her first period, right? And
her period.
And
is that the age where they usually get their periods?
I don't
11, 12?
I don't know. I thought it was like, I don't know.
Too bad there's no girls to chat right now. We can't confirm this.
Actually, no. I don't know.
I'm guessing like
I was like 12, 11, 12,
early
13.
middle school, yeah.
I mean, because I've heard it's like some girls get it earlier, some girls get it later. I mean, that depends. I mean,
okay, so we'll just say like middle school, like 12, 13.
And so
she got her period.
Gets her first period.
And she's a woman now.
And that's what her auntie grandmother. I don't even know what the fuck this lady was. I think she's supposed. I think they call her auntie, but she looks like a grandmother. But she's kind of like the one that's like raised a lot of females, and I'm assuming including her Amy's mother, underneath like this umbrella of like, I've raised all these women up in this culture, and Amy, you're the only one that's giving me shit, like da da da. But when Amy winds up having a period, she's like, oh, like you're a woman now. Like when I was just your age, maybe just a little bit. Like when I was just your age, I was a little bit shorter, but I was already engaged. And a couple years later, I got married and I started a family. And I was like, this is a beautiful woman. You're a woman now. She's kind of like, I don't want to be a woman in that. Like that's when she's kind of like, this is not. I'm not about that shit of getting engaged now and getting married and all this other stuff. But then on the other side, all right, so
she haven't even like really lived their life.
Hasn't even lived a damn life.
That's what's crazy about that. Some of those religions.
Yeah, it's like
it's a little too strict, and you already know somebody's fucking the guy in the front that made all those rules and shit. Mm-hmm. He's fucked up for that.
And that's why I think that there's like a very if anything about this movie that I came away respecting of, it shows both sides how they can be really toxic when pushed to the extreme of like how women are objectified in this type of way of like, even on a religious side, like you're a baby making machine, you don't have a job, you stay home and work all the time, you have no agency, no free will, the man runs a household, he can have as many wives as he wants, but you have to deal with it. And then on the other side is like shit, you want to be free will, you be a free woman, well eventually you're gonna like, if you let people take advantage of you, you'll be objectified. Because there's a scene in the movie where they try out for a dance competition and
Step It Up.
Yeah, it's like that's what somebody.
Is that the name of the movie?
Step Up. Yeah, I think it's a Step Up. Yeah, or maybe I'm thinking of what's the?
It's Step something.
Some shit. Yeah. That shit with is that with Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah, that's good, man.
That's when we were in high school, right? When it came out.
I think so.
That was
give
cool.
or take. It was somewhere there. It wasn't bad, man.
I was about to start dancing.
Hell, no, that movie inspired me now.
Hey man, you want to make a Jabberwocky crew?
And it's so all right. So within the so like she's with the Cuties, right? And this is when I started realizing like how this movie kind of paints a different picture. She and the rest of the Cuties, right? Amy and the Cutie girls, they try out for a competition, and their dance number. Actually, no, Amy's not even there. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, the Cuties try for a dance competition. The one member's short, and their dance routine is all fucked up. Now the judges that are there at the dance competition. It's just a male and a female. Male and female. No, it's a male and a female now. A male and a female. And they're dancing all pretty provocative, but they're out of step. They're not going with the rhythm and all that. And the judge is like, okay, you know what? We'll call you back. And the girl's like, all right. And they leave. And then later on in the movie, they get the call back saying like, hey, you guys in the competition, da-da-da. And like, oh my God. And then my brother was like, they fucking sucked. But then like, by the end of the movie, I had to think back on it. I was like, what if the exploitation of these girls isn't just always men like people think it is? Because there was a female judge too. What if it's both sides? Like, hey, these adult women sometimes will have a hand in objectifying or sexualizing these fucking girls.
Of course.
And that's why I was like, holy shit. It's like, this movie is a lot deeper than...
It's not just with men.
It's not just men too. Women do the same shit. And so they were going out there and like, long story short, they wound up doing the competition. They're on stage. Amy, who's supposed to be going to the wedding to go for a second father, she just winds up running out the house like, fucking, I ain't doing this shit. She winds up changing the clothes, gets on stage, dances with them, and then in the audience, you see like the judges like, yeah, we think we picked somebody good. But the audience is kind of like, especially like the women, like, oh my God, what the fuck these girls doing? Except for like one chubby motherfucker who's in the audience. He's like, yeah, get it. And you're like, okay, that's the pedo right there. But everybody else is like, oh my God, this is sick. And then while they're all still dancing, they're doing their routine on stage. You see like Amy, something like clicks in her brain. And she's always like crying out of nowhere.
Why?
Because I think she's at a realization like, holy shit, like this shit isn't right either. Like she's not cool with the religious shit. She feel like she's going too far left. Because in this movie, her attitude starts changing more and more and getting worse and worse. Like
she's becoming more of her own person.
And becoming more person, but she's also becoming more cruel. But at the same time, it's like she don't want to be a slave to this religion either. So she wants having a breakdown and she wants running back home to her. Like basically she abandons her fucking crew on the stage. Like you never see the rest of them. You don't see them for the rest of the movie. It's like maybe like 10 minutes left. She just leaves and runs back home. Gets to the house, and while she's there, the mother, like the auntie grandma motherfucker, she's like, why you dressed like this, you little slut? Da-da-da. Why'd you leave the house? Like the wedding's about to start soon.
She slapped her.
No, and then her mother, who she's been bumping heads with the whole movie, is like, hey, like don't talk to her like that. That's my daughter. Let me talk to her. And she just takes Amy to the next room, and her and the mother just hugs her. And they just hug each other back. Amy's just crying.
That's
and it's
not
like,
real life.
But that was one of the best scenes in the movie because it was like it's almost like the mother understood why Amy was rejecting this shit because she knew that Amy knew about she knew her daughter was not happy about her father getting a second wife.
Yeah.
And the mother can't do nothing about it, but she can't run away from it. But she got like, I get where you're coming from. You're upset, but like, you know, like she doesn't say anything to him. It's kind of like, hey, like everything's gonna be okay. And after they finish hugging, he's like the mother, like she's all dressed up and everything. Give her a go to the wedding. She put a little head shit on. She's like, looks at her daughter, like smiles and just walks out because she got to keep living that life. She's already in too deep. But her daughter's like, yo, like, you can find another we got it. And so at the end of the movie, a spoiler alert. Anyways.
No one's going to watch it.
But yeah, for real. But by the end of the movie, you see like Amy, she's out there like with friends, jump roping and all that. And she's like learning to be a kid. Like, don't let this world try to force you to be an adult so fast. Like, just learn about being a kid first. And it's not, and it was almost kind of like kids by nature and all of us, even especially teenagers in nature, want to grow up so fast. And by the time you're an adult, you're like, fuck, I done missed out so much because I've wanted to be an adult for so long that now that I'm an adult, I'm like, damn, where did my childhood go? And so by the end of the movie, you see like she like leaves her friends, she leaves all that shit behind. She's like, just learn how to be a kid again. And I thought the movie was deep as fuck. I thought this movie should have been.
So do you think like it conveys that message pretty good without going a little too far into the pedophile range?
No, let me put it like this.
Because that's the big controversial shit that we need to talk about.
Okay, so I'm two sides with this, right?
I'm looking at it like it's like an RT type film.
Yeah, it's definitely that RT.
That's why I'm curious to see how they made it because a lot of people that talks about the movie they never seen it, so it's hard to take these people's.
It's definitely an
opinions.
RT farty Sundance Cannes Film Festival type shit. It's got that feel of it. Nothing is like. They don't treat the audience as fucking dumb throughout the movie. It's kind of like you have to notice the underlying tone of what it's telling you. And that's what I respect about the movie. It's very bold because there's like scenes where like they're dancing and you'll see like the scene, like you'll see like the camera like looking straight at their
like
ass
zooming in their ass
and everything like that, or the chest or whatever.
It's like right when they start popping their ass, like the cameraman just runs up straight into their ass crack and just like, get that zoom up.
Like a fucking Murray cameraman just like running up and like
the MVP of fucking pedophile cameramans. Like he done that shit before.
Like he worked for like Chris Hansen type shit.
Yeah,
like he's just there. And
like on his fucking resume, that shit says
pedo camera. What would you call it?
Used to work for a website off a dark web.
Got some dark web XP.
Snuff film specialist.
Oh shit. And so, but after, and those scenes were like, that's when this movie got very uncomfortable for me. But I think that was the point of the movie to show, like, hey, these girls are trying to be the adults, like, society tells them to. For example, I'll give you a perfect example right now.
Did they go too far, though, like, in your opinion? As far as, like, of course, like, they can tell that story, but did they went too far as like, showing, like, little kids and the sexuality and
I think that might be subjective. I think some people may watch and be like, it could be a lot more subtle and I would have got the point. But I mean, I know sometimes if you want to give a message, like, tapping somebody's shoulder and be like, hey, like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that shit doesn't always work. Sometimes you hit people with like a fucking sledgehammer just to get their attention. This movie is like super overly graphic, but
graphic.
Like, I gotta explain. Like, I think about like this. Okay, and then this is nothing against like Cardi B or nothing like that, or Meg Thee Stallion when he came out with that music video WAP. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was sexy as fuck. I'm a dude. I love the music video. But I also saw the valid complaints about why some people were saying about that video, like, well, what is this gonna like do with girls who see this and all that. like how's this going to inspire girls and make girls want to feel a woman should be? And I was like, okay, I can see that from that perspective. I mean, clearly the video is like, it's targeted towards adults, but in the age of the internet and YouTube, everybody's gonna see that shit, even young girls. And so all young girls are gonna see this, be like, okay, this is what makes a woman being sexualized. And that's how I saw the movie was kind of like, it makes you uncomfortable. Like, I feel like a lot of people was more mad. I feel like the movie got too much shit for being what it is. Like, they were willing to shoot the messenger, but not understand the message. Like, because what was going on in that movie is happening right now, 24/7, 7 days a week, of girls being caught up in this internet world or society of thinking like, hey, in order for me to be a female, I have to act this way. And instead of a lot of people actually just taking the time to watch it or whatever, they're like, okay, fuck it. Like, and I blame it on Netflix because Netflix should have never used that promotional poster for it. That was a horrible poster. But I think like a lot of people shooting the messenger and not the message. And I think that's what the movie was really pushing of like, hey, this is a world where girls are gonna like be influenced by the internet and maybe
it's happening.
It's happening. Sure. And I don't know. And so I didn't think so. With them zooming the camera in and all this other stuff, I think it did on purpose to make people like, I mean, I put it like this. If you're a pedophile, this is a fucking pedophile's wet dream right here. Like, you fucking pedophile go ape shit with this. If he didn't have to go on the dark web and shit like that, if you want to watch in the legal way, pedophiles will have fun with this shit. But if you're not a pedophile.
So what's bad then? If pedophiles would enjoy it.
But I'm pretty sure there's people that watch shit on like Nickelodeon or Disney who are pedophiles too. But and them kids aren't even being over sexualized. They're just being
when
kids.
You're seeing them twerking and popping that ass,
right, but then
that's that zoom up by that cameraman.
But I think for us normal folks, if you watch, it's kind of like that's when the cringe worthy comes in. It's kind of like it's supposed to make you feel this way because this is what's really happening. Like somebody's daughter is out there doing this shit, so whatever. And I think that's what they're trying to push.
Sure. But I have a theory on that though.
What's up?
You want to go into theory mode?
Let's do it, man.
Here's my theory on why Netflix approved this movie. And you know, saying, hey, we're just gonna keep this movie on because you guys are just tripping about it. You know, like right now, like what's going on, like in California, is like
the fires and shit.
They're trying to do that. There's like a bill that they just passed. It's a bill called.
Oh yeah, I did hear about this.
It's a California. It's a new bill that they passed down in California. It's the SB 145 bill, where it gives you like that 10-year age gap to where if you have sex with somebody within that 10 years. Mm-hmm. You're straight. You won't be like you won't be a
sexual offender or whatever.
Yeah, you won't be labeled as a sexual offender and shit, sex offender.
Yeah.
And they just passed that bill like last week. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm thinking, like where that movie comes in and plays a role like in our whole society, like within I guess the whole world. They're trying to normalize this shit to make people be comfortable with the fact that you can look at like a young girl and actually be okay with thinking like, hey, okay, that's a young girl and she's a sexy young girl.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like with the movie, they're letting that shit play out. It's because here's what I was thinking. They're trying to wake up sleeper pedophiles. People who think they're not pedophiles, but they're trying to wake them up.
Activate them.
Yeah, kind of like activating them to where if the masses are seeing this, right, and they're saying, okay, so it's okay. Like we can look at shit like that and you'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
They're trying to wake up more people to it, right? To make it more normalized. Mm-hmm. So when more people are used to it, they're like, okay, we can run this shit now. You can actually have sex with somebody that's that young and you won't be prosecuted as like a sex offender.
Yeah.
Because California just passed a law where they give you that 10-year gap, which is fucking weird because let's say you're fucking 18 years old. And you have sex with somebody that's 8 years old.
Yeah, that's fucking
Are you clear on that?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I remember one of my coworkers told me about that last week, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was like, "Really, California? Like that? I mean, I would expect some shit like that.
Yeah,
like some Alabama type, some wild, like fucking crazy Southern shit."
Yeah, the bill was introduced by a man named Scott Wiener.
Oh my god!
Right? This is the same guy who passed the law for decriminalizing people who purposely spread like HIV, like already known you have HIV, and they spread it purposely. He's the one that decriminalized that shit to where you won't be charged like as a criminal if you did that.
That shit should be a straight up criminal offense. Holy
exactly.
Shit.
Scott Wiener. And then that's when he proposed the bill saying, hey, give us that 10-year gap. Like, I'm sure, like, okay, in high school, it makes sense, but the 10-year gap is a bit too much. Yeah. But like when you're in high school, right? 18, 14, 15 years old, I'm pretty sure they're all getting, rocking their socks off and shit. I think like at that age, it makes more sense. But when you're giving it like a 10-year gap, like let's say somebody's 24 years old, it's okay for the 24 years old person to have sex with somebody that's 14 years old.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's where it's messy.
So my thing is like, okay, so with the high school thing, so what people like maybe like what 14, 15 when they get to high school, would it be okay for like somebody who's 14 or 15 to mess with somebody in the age range of a typical high school student all the way up to senior year? Like say if he's 14 going into
it's happening.
I mean for sure. I mean I say like this is like news.
I would think that's the only like exception.
Yeah, because like
if you're 18, you're a senior, you're 18, and you're having sex with a freshman.
A 14-year-old, let's say like 14, 15, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at like that age, you're still young like that, but they shouldn't be fucked up like that because they are going to school like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not same school.
It gets messy when this dude's got wiener. He's like, "Hey, give us like 10 years."
That's fucking
pedophiles
a huge
alike,
gap, bro. That's a
dude. When they were passing the bill for that shit, I guarantee you the pedophiles were at their house with fucking champagne bottles, 2 champagne bottles, one for him, one for his young 14-year-old.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine that, dude?
2020. This is the year of pedophilia, right? This is
fucking pedophile
popping
world
bottles.
Running this shit, dude.
Damn, I did remember hearing about that. I didn't think about tying them two together though. And my thing is too, like, I can't blame it on the movie itself of being a problem. I think it's the promotion of the movie, because if nobody would have knew about this fucking movie if they just stuck with the Sundance film festival poster. But when they made it into them looking like all like sexified and shit on the poster, that's when it started drawing a lot of attention. And if it drew my attention, which I had no intentions of ever watching this movie, I'm pretty sure you have no intentions of ever watching this shit no matter what. I'm pretty sure millions of people have no intentions of ever watching it. But this is now put by since Netflix made it like the poster way it is. How many? This is like ringing a door, like the dinner bell for like pedophiles. Like, hey guys, we got something over here for you. And it's kind of like, that's not really what the movie's supposed to be about. It's just showing.
I don't think it's like for that. I think it's just to wake up more people to get more used to the idea of looking at young girls like that.
I mean, what was that thing we talked about?
They're waking up pedophiles like that didn't even know they're pedophiles. They're waking up right now. They're watching this movie because if you go to Netflix, right? Okay, well, the last time I checked, it was like when the movie first came out. It was like the top 10 movie in the nation.
It's still number 7 right now on Netflix.
That's crazy. So a lot of people are out there watching it. And I was watching this one YouTube guy. He's saying he watched only 30, 40 minutes. He couldn't watch it no more because he was so disgusted. He said his girlfriend don't even like him no more and shit.
Oh, that's bullshit. He ain't get that far. He
said he got like so scared that he thought SWAT team was gonna kick the door down.
And
that's when I was like, somebody has to watch it. So that's when I told you about it.
Well, he didn't get to that point where he saw her take a picture of her snatch. That's
he got to that part too.
That was after like 30 minutes. That was
okay, 40 minutes.
Because it might have been. It's about almost like probably about 45 minutes into it. Yeah, about halfway point.
Yeah, he was talking.
That's when she lost her fucking mind.
Yeah, he was talking about that, how she took a picture of her vagina and posted. Making her own child porn.
Yeah, and I didn't really. That was the part of the movie I didn't like. What
was the point of that though?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think just now. Too. I'm glad we just talked about that. That she does that in the movie because her father winds up finding out. Cause everything she's posted up on social media is from her father's cell phone, right? And she had stole it from his room because he lives in a bedroom at the end of the hallway in the apartment, and this motherfucker ain't never there. He with the second wife or whatever. But the room's getting all prepped up and everything for like when him and his new old lady move in. And
so that scene didn't it didn't make sense.
Well, it builds up to where she winds up finding the cell phone in her father's bedroom while he's not there. And that's when she starts posting shit up on like the social media account she creates about Cuties, the Cuties group and all that. And eventually she's like going to school, like, over sexualized and all this other, like hair all down. Cause I can't remember what the fuck happened, but she winds up like started dressing like she's like one of the hottest chicks in school now, but she's like, yay high. And she gets home and her father winds up like being there like, hey, they wind up having a conversation. I can't remember what the hell went down, but they wind up getting to an argument where he finds out like, the fuck you doing with my cell phone? Like, you had my cell phone this whole time? I've been looking for it. They start fighting over it.
And he saw her vagina.
No.
Oh, she deleted it.
No. I don't even know what happened. They didn't really explain that part. Like they fight in the hallway or whatever, and she like bites his hand, and she winds up like getting away from him, runs to the bathroom and locks, and he's like, open up the damn door. And that's when she like pulls her pants down, like takes a picture of the snatch, and then she posts it.
That makes no sense.
And then I was like, okay, what was the point of that? I don't know if it was showing like how I don't know.
Ban the movie.
My thing was like this, like
Cancel.
were they doing to show like how extreme she was becoming as somebody who's getting sucked into this lifestyle of like sexualization and all this other stuff? Like, was she really getting so like that caught up into it to where she thought like, hey, like I'm post this picture, but I didn't really get that point in the movie, and that's why I was kind of like they could have just like skipped that part and just showed everything else because it showed that she was gradually becoming a worse person. Weird. And that was kind of like the most extreme shit she did in the movie, in my opinion. They could have kept that part out because then it led. What's up?
I heard like there's another scene in the movie where they had like it looked like they were having like a wet T-shirt contest, but it's not a contest. It's like girl, she's wearing tank top and booty shorts, and they start throwing water on her. Was there a scene like that?
Oh yeah, but that was when they was trying to like I guess that's when they found out she was like running around out in the streets and rumors were starting to spread, and her mom whipped her ass in the hallway, and then they went her and the grandma auntie. They started like doing some kind of like some voodoo shit on her or whatever. So like throwing water on her or whatever like that. And I guess she like felt ashamed that they was throwing water on her. There was basically almost kind of like an exorcism. That's what I took it as. But it's kind of like just like, oh my God, you know, like bless this daughter of ours or whatever.
But if somebody was deaf, they would see that and say, hey, they're having a wet T-shirt contest.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something. It's not like they dump water on her. It's kind of like they like dip their fingers into like a bowl of water, like just flicking it. And then the girl, I guess she's like upset what's going on. So it's almost like because she's upset with this culture of this household that she's living in, she's like starts shaking everything like that. And why they think she's like, okay, the demon's being exiled out of her, she's actually just doing like a fucking dance routine that she's been practicing all through the movie. But it's like, okay, she's excising demon, but she's kind of, I think she's kind of going to like her comfort place in her mind to escape the reality of like this religious household she's living in. And it was like, no, they dumped water on her. It was right T-shirts. It was more like, it wasn't that fucking crazy, but it was just like,
I don't think they dump water like that.
But I think it's like, it's, I got the scene. I was like, okay, whatever, I get it.
They got the cameraman on the side with the super soaker.
All right, next we got some milk. We're going to dump on you.
Extra water.
But I mean, this movie is not for everybody. I'll tell you this shit right now. That shit was like, it's got some very uncomfortable scenes.
It's weird because there's kids in the movie, and you wouldn't think like having kids in the movie, you have a movie that makes people uncomfortable. And
that's the thing I had to think about too after I watched it. I was like, hey, are they exploiting these kids in this movie in a weird way to kind of get pedophiles to come like, oh, get people normalized with this stuff? And then I was thinking about it. When I thought about it, I was like, it's not really exploitive because, at least in my opinion, it wasn't exploitive because the movie did have a message to go along with it. Now, some people may be like, okay, well,
what's the message?
Let your daughters be kids and let them grow up. Like, let these kids grow up a little. No, let these kids not necessarily let these kids grow up. Let these kids be kids and let them go through the transition to being an adult instead of like fucking like 11 years old you getting fucking married and shit like that, or based off of like religious or society.
Other religions are like super strict, especially like in other countries.
Wow, shit.
And then people want to complain about here in America. I was like, dude, imagine living in those other countries where it's so strict you can't even fucking do shit.
No, but then again, there's pockets of America, like especially in the South, they got little towns that's like wild religious, and they borderline on that shit too. Like they just,
I don't think it's extreme like that because over there it's like you fuck up, dude, you can get your head chopped easily. It doesn't matter if you're family or not.
Yeah,
it's more. Like death is more like common out there when you make mistakes like that, especially like with people in relationships and infidelity or whatever. If your wife would cheat on you,
hell yeah, because like this is like even if like you're like
there's been get times her head chopped off.
There's been times it's even worse than that. I'm about to get my head chopped off. There's been times where women would cheat on their husbands, even though the husband's got like fucking like 8-10 wives or whatever, and then
she slipped up. She crossed somebody else,
and then. There's been videos of like women like who cheat on their husbands, and next you see like the husband pays somebody, maybe it's the husband himself. They want to toss an acid on their face, disfigured for life, and then the husband will never go to jail for that shit. And so I get it. It's way more fucking extreme.
It's way more extreme. So we're lucky to be out here like this.
Oh yeah, at least like
the most we'll get is like locked up or fucking beat up by whoever, their brother.
But for sure,
beat
like
up by their cousins. But you're not gonna. Most likely, you're not gonna get your fucking head chopped. It's not like that extreme because if they do get your head chopped, you'll be locked up for that shit. Over there, they'll chop the wife's head off, and the dude will still be walking free out on the street.
Give you keys to the city or some shit.
That's how crazy it is over there.
And America, it's got its religious freedom out, but then there's these, like I said, there's small pockets of America. They got these religious
very
towns.
small, probably less than 1%.
I don't even know what the number is. I can't make up any number for it. But I know like there's a lot of small towns where it's like this religion is religion, and it's like that town has their own rules and laws and all that. And
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying that like they're offing people and shit as far as I know, but
That's why it's better out here.
But I know it's strict religious shit out here too on some other shit. You know, women.
Yeah, it is. But
in
it's
these
not
households.
to that extreme level to how they do it overseas.
No, I don't know. No.
They're extreme, like death extreme.
Yeah,
It's worse out there.
Yeah,
we can't even compare America to like a lot of those.
Well, and the reason why I can't say really how American religion is on how it's being hidden is because I guarantee you America probably hides that shit in a way like nobody want to know about the extreme because I think there's extreme level on religion on every side. Like, I don't care what religion it is. There's extreme levels to it. I think America is very good at hiding it well versus like what we hear about like overseas. There's like you don't hear nobody getting fucking acid tossed in their fucking face, but the times where women have gotten murdered in like these religious households and shit. So it's never been to that extreme, but I don't think it's as prevalent. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's not common out here.
Yeah.
It's not as common as if you go to a third world country. If you go to a third world country, that's a normal thing. That's why those wives and stuff, they don't talk. When their husband's doing like whatever, giving whatever wives, they're not gonna talk. They fear for their own life, you know?
And that's
then
why
plus like if they have kids, they fear for their life too. So they're pretty much stuck.
For real, yep. Hell yeah.
They're stuck between a rock and another rock.
And I think that's what the movie was trying to draw a contrast to with her and her mother, where she didn't understand why her mother was still dealing with this shit. But it's not that easy for her to walk away from now because she already got kids with this dude. That motherfucker could kill everybody in the apartment and probably get off scot free. Kill her, the auntie grandma. And she's like, and that's why she just kind of like grits her teeth and bears with it. Where Amy herself in this movie is not in that position yet. And she doesn't want to be in that position. But she's kind of seeing like the flaws in this society, but also the flaws of like the far left media as well, or the far left of things too. So it's, I mean,
but it makes sense. Nobody want to be like tied down to anything that they don't believe like that.
I don't agree with anybody of any race, religion, like gender. I don't like find it uncomfortable. I find it very uncomfortable for anybody to be tied down to exist and live a way that other people tell you to live because it's not fair. It's like nobody has to be here, so why do you have to make them live this life on a railroad tracks that's designed by who the fuck ever? Like, live your life, man. Like, be happy with yourself. It'd be a lot. I guarantee you, suicide would be a hell of a lot less if you just let people just live their life.
Live in the forest. Hey, let's take a quick break. I gotta take a leak.
All right, man.
We are back.
What up?
All right. So, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the movie?
As I rate the movie, damn, I had no intention of ever watching this shit. But it was I ain't gonna lie, it was actually surprisingly good for the message delivered. I could have never written or done a movie like this because it's a very uncomfortable subject. Especially as a cameraman, I would not have wanted to film that shit at all.
You think the cameraman, like, he got
kind of chubby?
he got like aroused and shit while he was filming?
So okay, cut.
The director's like, get in closer.
Zoom in.
Get in.
Because there's some scenes in the movie you kind of like, oh my God, like back up, cameraman. Like
you think they could have like eased off that a little bit, but still explain the story about how.
I think it could have.
Do you think they could have, stepped off the gas like a little more?
I think they could have went both ways.
And still explain the story, or did they really had to show all that ass twerking?
I think they could have went both ways with it. I think it may have been more presentable to people if less ass shaking, no like zoom up on like asses and all that, or like there's a scene that had me like
they still could have done the movie without like a lot of the close up on the ass shaking.
Yeah, and I think the movie was just trying to just get its point across to hammer it home like this shit is more severe, and I think that what they were trying to draw is like, hey, the more severe we show you how this shit is, how little girls are being influenced about how as we as adults are showing them as female adults or showing them how to be and trying to follow like cause I guess the movie also kind of shows like a thing of where like both sides, whether it's either her being out there, trying to dance around with other girls and all that. A lot of times they're doing like, oh, that like boy crazy and all this other stuff. But then on the other side of the perspective, is like the mother's having to deal with her life is because of another man. So it's like at the end of the day, it always leads up to a fucking man at some point of being why they kind of do what they do in some kind of way. But I mean, it's a complicated movie, man. I thought it was gonna be fucking cut and dry, disgusting. I probably wasn't gonna be able to finish it, but I got through it. There's a scene at the end of the movie where they're on stage dancing, and they're laying on the side and they kick their legs up and like this, and that crotch is like wide open, and I'm like, okay, I was like, okay, I get it, fucking get it, movie.
That was a bit much, right?
And I was like, but I guess the movie's like trying to show, but then the females in the audience like, there's a grown ass woman,
but they're still young in real life.
Yes,
so
in real life.
I think that's a bit much for the movie. They didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, yeah, you gotta have to understand like who you're portraying in these roles to play in these things.
You watch it like 30 minutes, like, yeah, we get it. Chill with the crotch shots and the ass clap.
Yeah, because there's even a part of the movie where like they're practicing dancing, and one of the girls is like slapping the other girl ass, like, look, you have no ass, like you need more ass, and they're slapping her on the butt. I'm like, and my brother's like, damn, I bet you're a pedophile. I was like, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like I was like, it's just and it's
rewind,
like, and I get that they see like, because there's a part of the movie where they're dancing, the girls are practicing the cuties, and they're seeing like, hey. First of all, they're all 11. Don't nobody got no ass, all right? Now, I was looking, but they're like built like 2x4s. But they're making fun of the main girl, like, you don't have no ass, whatever. Look at you. You're flat on both sides. And then you're kind of like, okay, like these girls clearly think that bigger. And I'm not saying that this is not the reality of it, because I'm sure that's what it is. Actually, I know for a fact what it is. I grew up with like two sisters. Like, when you're young and you're growing up as a teenager, you get bigger tits. That makes you more of a woman. You got bigger ass. That makes you more of a woman. And I know that at 11, they notice that too. Like, oh, you don't have no ass. You ain't got
yeah, they all see it.
None of them do, but they're making fun of the main girl, the new girl. They call like the poor girl because I mean, I don't know. Their apartment was fucking nice. Maybe I'm poor, but I thought her apartment was dope. I mean, they couldn't get no phone reception, but they was calling a poor girl and shit in the movie. But yeah. So they're basically like trying to like they end up understand like, okay, this is what men like. And this is what we need to be shaking and showing off to them and all that. So it's like, I don't know, man. But just like you asked before, for rating, I get maybe like a 7.5 out of 10.
I was gonna say 7 too.
Maybe 7.5, somewhere around that range.
Would you recommend a family watching this?
Hell no. But I would recommend that parents of daughters, especially if they're around this age, like 11, 12, 13, hitting that preteen era.
Yeah, because usually like parents this now, ain't no kids movie. They seem so clueless about their kids or what they're doing. Like, dude, if you give your kid an iPad,
dude, what the fuck?
And that kid has access to like a bedroom where you're not there, and he has an iPad, that's a fucking computer, right?
Hell
and computer is connected to the internet, and I can't even imagine what the kids are fucking looking up now.
And just imagine how many girls who like. That's like this movie. I can't lie. This movie scared the fuck out of me of having a daughter. Like for real, like anything I've ever watched or anything like even last week we talked about naming our daughters. This movie actually generally had me nervous to have a kid, like a daughter, because it's like you can't keep your eyes on them 24 hours a day, and then when them having internet access and then them get online, there's a lot of predators out there who might be like, they maybe they're looking for validation for people to like them, and then all it takes is one predator to come through like, oh, you're so beautiful, show me your tits. Show me ass or whatever, and then they got full internet access to what's gonna stop them from it. When you as Papa Bear and Mama Bear ain't there, so like it's an easy road to go down, and it's scary as fuck, man. That's what bothered me the most, because there was parts of the movie where I would see the main girl walking down the street, and I'm like, oh my god, somebody's gonna snatch her ass up because she's wearing like next to nothing. Somebody's gonna try to rape her. It never happens, and I think that's when the movie would have been like, oh fuck, this shit's too much.
But that's like not even a normal thing to see a girl wear something like that.
Then that's the thing too, yeah.
That's why I was thinking, like, why would the movie show it to that extreme? Like, it still could be like a regular girl in regular clothes, and she can still be attacked the same way.
Yeah.
As opposed to a girl wearing a cut up tank top with booty shorts.
Well, and I think
that's where I think it's a bit too extreme. They could have still portrayed the same message and have her in regular clothes.
Yeah,
because kids in regular clothes are getting yanked up like that.
Well, then again, too, like this had me think about this too when I was watching the movie. Think about the era when we had like the Britney Spears, the Christina Aguilera's, and all that shit. Early 2000s, right? Mm-hmm. Ain't none of them was fucking legal. There was like 15, 16 when they was dancing around and all that. None of them was legal, of age. It was like under 18. They were like 15, 16 with like like Britney Spears and shit like that. Was like 6.
I thought they were all over 18 when they started their career.
Hell no. There was when she did that shit when she was like oh baby. And the school
she was over 18.
She was 16, dude.
Really?
Swear to God, man. Maybe I
thought Britney was older than us.
No, she is, but she's like she was older than us.
That came out when we were in high school.
No, I was middle school, dude. The Britney Spears shit? We was in middle school for that shit. She was 16. She was 16 when she did that video, and I shit you not. I remember I watched it on the news one time.
It's not that much though.
But still, she's not of age though. But she was being over sexualized at 16, wearing like skimpy schoolgirl outfit and all this other stuff. I remember like back in the day when they had like.
I think the 11-year-old girl, the one on that movie.
I mean, no, that's still worse. I mean, it's still bad either way to me. I mean,
that's like
what?
Comparing like those two, like with her and Britney Spears and her in the movie. That's like comparing to like a real porno to like porno you see on HBO.
I wasn't even gonna say that. Even HBO, shit. That's like
okay, MTV. Put Britney Spears on MTV. Okay. It's like HBO porno with the 11-year-old girl compared to like an MTV VH1 shit. That's more normal, right?
I guess
it's like you get to see the titties, but you don't see the sex.
I mean. I guess I see what you're saying though. Like
that's just like how I gauge the difference between the Britney Spears music video to the 11-year-old girl and the twerk video. Movie.
Well, I'll put it like this, and this is one thing I noticed way back in the day, like when that video came out. I was not 16 at the time. I think I was like in 7th or 8th grade or some shit. Whatever the fuck I was in. Britney Spears is clearly older than me. Maybe I was like in 6th grade or some shit. Whatever it was, she was older than me. I thought that shit was hot as hell. But for grown ass adults, there was grown ass men that were like, oh shit, yeah, she looks fucking hot, dressed as like a schoolgirl. But she was 16 at the time and being over sexualized, but not just by like she joined some little girl group or whatever. Just like she got pushed into this career and being over sexualized as a 16-year-old. And I remember a lot of times you hear like on some news channels like, oh, she's like where her parents at, whatever. But the same guys are always like pressing down on girls who act like this. Probably the same ones who were like fucking jerking off behind doors because they made too much of a big deal out of it. That's why I always kind of saw that as when I was growing up. And I don't really see differences as like how Britney's at 16, these girls are 11, but still being pushed into a sexualized situation like for somebody. I mean, they're doing it for somebody, like for somebody's entertainment. And that's how I kind of saw it as like, okay, like this is how society kind of like young girls kind of see like older females act this way. Because this is a girl group in the movie, right? Called the Sweetie some shit or whatever the fuck it is. It's another girl dance group that's older than them, and they drop like a music video on like YouTube and shit to like there's one point in the music video that this older girl group is doing. She like flashes her tits in the video like real quick, and then the girls are like,
these are kids.
I'm not sure the age, but they're definitely older than the fucking kids. They're like
they flash their bare tits.
One girl like flashes her tit when she's like dancing or whatever
with nipple
and everything. Yeah.
And that was in the movie.
But she's not like a little girl, but she's not like.
But you saw her nipple in the movie.
Yeah, that's like the only.
Okay,
time.
So this movie is not made for kids.
No, hell no. I never said, oh hell no, this movie ain't made for kids. Even if they didn't show that nipple, it is not made for kids because the underlying.
So there's nudity in the movie. I didn't know that.
There's like one tit. I won't call it nudity. It's just like one tit flash.
But with the nipple.
I watch porn sometimes, so I mean, nudity's gotta be someone.
You're normalized.
My level of nudity is like on a extreme level. Then
you're normalized. It's still nudity because when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Think about like back in the days when remember that one Super Bowl with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson when her nipple was exposed, dude, the world fucking exploded because of that shit.
But she never showed her nipple though. Nobody remembers that shit.
Yeah, but it was a big deal.
She had like a star page though. I remember when I saw her as a kid on the Super Bowl, I was like, that was awesome. Like nice big titty. And then
I didn't see it.
The world lost its fucking mind. I was so confused. Even to this day, I was like, but she didn't show her nipple. Like, oh my God. Like just calm down,
but the
everybody.
point I'm trying to say is it's a big deal. Like the nipple is a big deal.
Yeah, for some people, yeah.
So like with this movie, like with Netflix and little kids, they have little kids 11, 13. It's like, okay, you show the nipple, they can't even watch their own movie. Because, it's classified as an adult movie. Mm-hmm. Like, once you show the nipple, it's an adult movie.
Yeah.
And you have to be an adult to watch the movie. So, is that crazy? Because I didn't know they showed, like, nudity in that movie.
They show, like, one boob. And it's, like, quick as fuck. Because, like, they're, like, the main girl, Amy, and her...
Do I sound like a Karen right now? Trying to fight people?
No, man, no. I'm
actually speaking from, like, a normal point of view.
And on some reasonable shit, though, when I finished watching this movie... I kind of saw both sides of where people would be like, who probably be like, this movie is disgusting. Like, I can't agree with somebody who, I guess I can't agree with somebody who would like hasn't seen it. I'm like, if people are too uncomfortable to see it, I get why just off the promotion alone or that poster.
It's just bad promotion, right?
That was fucking horrible. And if somebody watched, was like,
but still, if it was a good promotion, like you think like a little girl that watches the movie would be like shocked.
I think that's what the problem comes in because I think Netflix has this thing set up to where like, oh yeah, Netflix for kids, but how many fucking kids watch Netflix for kids? I mean, if I was a kid, I wouldn't be watching Netflix for kids. I'd be watching like.
I mean, there is like Netflix for kids. Like they block every adult movie.
Oh, okay.
Not even just adult. It's like once it hit like teenager mode, because I'm on like an account with my brother, and he has like a separate account for his daughter, and her daughter is set in like a kid's account. I just went to go look at it. I was curious what a kid account looked like, so I clicked on the account, and it's just
cartoon
straight
shit,
up kid stuff.
I've seen it before. So
she will never come across that.
So like when so I'm like this, and I always wondered, so like if a kid signs on to Netflix, if they don't go to their name and say if they go to their mom and dad's name, then they can watch whatever the fuck's on Netflix then. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not really policed that heavy like that. It's just simply like, okay, I'm not gonna go with my name, Chris. I'm gonna go to my mom and dad and see what they watching. And I mean, that's what I saw it as. I mean,
you can easily do that.
I could definitely imagine where a young girl who, and that's why I can see.
But she's still like, our brother's daughter she's too young to even be that curious about shit like that. She just want the fun part, the fun shit.
So
you don't think like that until you get like older, like middle school, and then that's when you start to wonder about like, the other gender.
Yeah, like body parts.
What's the male dick like?
Yeah, for real.
What's the female vagina like? That's when you get to the middle school. That's when you start noticing stuff like that.
And there's a scene in the movie where the girls who are like 11 years old, they're in middle school. I'll say sixth grade, because there's older guys also go to that school too who they have like a mad crush on. And there's a scene where they're talking about like, I wonder like what is like somebody's dick size is, or they're talking about like penis size between dudes, or whatever. But they don't really know shit about.
Well, hold on.
Like I'm actually misrepresentation.
Hold on. Yes. So they talk about dick size in the movie.
Yeah, they start making jokes about it or whatever, but they don't know but when they're having a conversation, they have an idea that guys have dicks, but they clearly don't know what they're talking about. But they're trying to sound like they're adult about talking about this shit. That's like,
see, that's one thing about kids.
Yeah,
they always want to seem like they're adults, yes, or they understand adult conversations
and don't know what the fuck they talking about.
That's bad. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
That's why keep your kids off the fucking internet, man.
No, but it was like that before. Even when I was growing up, before the internet was like a huge part of our life, where it's like, man, yeah, I'm like this, like especially I think boys are. I can't speak for girls, because what they were saying in the movie, I was like, holy fuck, do girls really talk like this at this age? And then I thought about,
they talk about dick like that.
Or they're talking about like, oh yeah, like guys, like there's a guy that like they're like obsessed with in their school or whatever, and they're like trying to walk in the bathroom to get a like peek at him, like while he's taking a piss. To see if his dick is out or whatever. Oh. And they tell the new girl, Amy, like, hey, go in there, like, try to record him. And she walks in there, like...
Wait, this is like middle school kids?
I'm assuming this ain't elementary school, that's for damn sure.
Oh, so the girls was trying to...
Yeah, so the girls like... The girls were trying to peek in the guy's bathroom, the guy, like, they was crushing perverted
girls.
Yes. Like, I think everybody's perverted at age, like, just crushing and shit.
But now girls nowadays, they're, like, almost, like, the same level as guys. Maybe above.
I've been hearing about this for years.
Maybe a little bit more. Ladies, I mean, you can't fight us. You're not in chat, but go ahead.
I mean, they might be playing a smarter game. I don't know, but like
that's wild, man. When I was a kid, what I used to do, I used to fucking grab like toilet paper, get a whole bunch of toilet paper, wrap it all up, right? Fucking wet that shit, throw that shit on the ceiling.
Oh damn,
that's what kids used to do.
You know what I did when I was a kid?
But I speak for myself. Maybe other kids were having sex, but I was throwing toilet paper on the ceiling.
You know what I was doing like in
That's
first...
what I did.
You know what I was doing in first grade? You know what I was doing in first grade? I would... I used to crawl underneath the tables, like, because we all shared a table. And I used to look at girls' skirts.
Dude, you're like 10 years ahead of me.
But granted, I was like on some...
This was first grade?
Yeah, I was like crawling these tables.
You were looking at girls' cooch?
I didn't see nothing. It's all like fucking kid panties. Well, nothing like that.
Of course you didn't see nothing, but this is the attempt.
But I knew back then, I was like, yo, I liked girls. I was like, yo, like I had friends who were like, man, girls are disgusting. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
you were like out there like under the skirts?
Sure. I'm like, yo.
Damn.
And this is before I even moved here. I was still living like up in like Baltimore and Maryland.
Wow.
This is back when I was living in Baltimore and Maryland. And there was this one girl, I think her name was Michelle. I was still in first grade. I made out with her on the bus, in the front of the bus too. before I got
you're
myself.
like an active child.
I mean, yeah, I'm surprised I got a fucking million kids.
Don't
out there.
give you the internet.
Dude,
Imagine if you had the internet back
Oh,
then.
yeah, I was pre-internet, baby.
Yeah, you'd be live streaming everything.
I was on some caveman shit, but no,
Meanwhile, me on the other side of the earth, I'm fucking building blocks and shit, trying to put puzzles together, and Chris is on the other side, fucking looking up her.
I got in trouble for that shit. I mean, yeah. I don't. I've always like. I've always been girl crazy growing up, and then as I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah, they cool people, I guess. And then just I dialed it back.
I would think like if you're that sexually active, like at that age, I would think like right now you would be super bored.
Like with my life right now.
No, like just like with girls, period. Because you've been in the game a long time.
Man, no, I ain't no player like that. No, I'm just like a dude.
You're like,
I'm a regular dude, man.
Another vagina.
No, it's never
I'm
been like
so
that.
bored.
I've met savages way worse than me. I promise you. I'm like at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's like I'm just a guy who's like, I don't like disrespecting women in any kind of way, and or try to make them feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Or if I'm gonna date a girl, I'm literally gonna date them because of a possibility to make go somewhere. I don't date somebody to waste my time. I hate my time being wasted.
To make what?
Like if I date somebody, then I'm not gonna just I'm not dating them to waste my time, right?
Oh,
I'll date somebody because like I see potential to go on somewhere with it, but it's like.
but I think you can never look at it like that. Like when you're getting to know a person, you never look at it like, okay, like I'm gonna waste my time. Like if I'm gonna hang out with her, like I'm not trying to waste my time. But you got to think like to get to know somebody, you have to waste time, even if it's good or bad. You have to already sacrifice that time. So you can't think of it as wasting time because you already said like, hey, I want to take you out on a date and whatever, do whatever. But if it goes bad, you can't think of it as like a waste of time.
No, I mean, like, I was like, damn. I was like, and because usually I'm like, damn, I had another option, and then, well, fuck.
Yeah, because you would never know. Like, you would never know unless you went on the date and then you did your thing.
Or, hear me out. We build a machine and travel to alternate Earth and see the other possibility.
That's the only way.
We'll see the other possibility of
That's
the
the only other way.
That's the only. It's the only way that we can find this shit out.
Well, I mean, like me, like getting older, I never look at it as wasting time anymore. It's more like a learning experience and more of like you getting to understand yourself and what the hell you like.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I could kind of see like that now. I mean, I haven't been in a relationship in a minute, so I could see where. Yeah,
you get more white hairs, man, and then you start to look at things like differently.
You see my shit now. I'm like, I'm all about learning now. I'm like,
I have a lot of white hair too. I shave my head all the time, but when it grows out, I have a lot of white hair. I'm like a fucking.
Get wise,
what's that dude Gandalf from Lord of the Rings?
Oh shit, got the mullet.
Shit. No, the all white
silver,
hair.
Oh, I'm thinking like I imagine your hair would put like maybe like
I'm like a silverback.
It just goes like right here, but it's like
if my hair was all white, dude, I'll grow my hair out.
Oh hell no, not me. It's too
fuck that. Yeah, I'll be a fucking one of those wizards like from that movie Once Upon a Time in China, whatever. I'll be one of those wizards with the fucking like Raiden and shit.
Oh,
with the long hair, with
the long
beard. Yeah, I'll rock that shit, man.
Nah, but damn, what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, so like, no, but growing up and stuff. I mean, everybody has their own. I mean, I was never pushed into being like girl crazy or nothing like that. But I mean, everybody just goes up different ways, and I mean, it's very fortunate that people with our generation who grew up before internet,
like we grew up before and after. So we have like the most knowledge with this shit.
Yeah, man. We remember time like
I remember both times, before the internet and after.
Hell yeah.
I remember how growing up without the internet and growing up when the internet blew up.
I remember shit. There was a time. I think the most that we got out of technology while we was growing up was when, but I say the introduction of like maybe like Nintendo and shit like that. But then I would say like maybe like PlayStation was and shit like that and whatnot. Like that was like as far as technology went back then.
Yeah, the moment where it fucking blew everybody's mind was when you can communicate with somebody on the other side of the world.
Hell yeah.
Like just typing, tap, enter, and then somebody in like Japan can see that shit. That's when that shit fucking blew up our brains. Like we went from monkeys to fucking silverback monkeys.
Hell yeah. The level up was real.
We went from like we went from like the level of cloud people. Like sky people that fucking live above us and shit.
Yeah, man. And I
Wi-Fi
feel like,
people.
And I'm not saying any generation is better than the other because I'm not saying any generation is better than the other when it comes to this. Because I feel like our generation, we just had our own different type of growth. I feel like now with kids growing up with the internet, they're learning a lot faster, but also, at least from my understanding, like even with this movie, I'm like, are kids starting to think they're more grown up than what they really are because of what
I think it is. I think a lot of kids think they're way more grown than they are. Like they try to they'll listen to like adult conversation, right? And they'll try to chime in thinking like they're an adult too, and saying all the adult words that adults would say.
But at the same time, though, that's happened when I was growing up, though. And this wasn't even internet.
Yeah, I can understand like that too. Like you want to be a part of the conversation with adults. Like you understand like everything they're talking about, politics and shit, and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, blah 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 blah.
And my parents would be like, "Stay in a fucking child's place," and then I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
like why am I getting involved in this shit? Like,
and then you wouldn't realize like what they actually meant until you get older and like, oh yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
I should have stayed in my lane and just fucking live your childhood life. But now kids nowadays, like especially with that movie and shit, they're trying to grow up faster than what they are actually like. They're missing out on their childhood because they want to be adults. They want to grow up. They want to look like adults. That's why they will watch all these makeup videos, and then you see all these little kids putting on like fucking a ton of makeup. By the time they're like fucking in high school and shit, their fucking face all look the same because all flawless because they mastered that shit in fucking elementary because they want to look like adults and shit. Which is I think is a big problem, man. Disconnect the internet.
Or it could be like this. What if it's not so much about kids trying to be adults? Society is trying to make these kids adults. Hear me out. Like I'm saying, a lot of stuff they was like
I wouldn't say like it's intentional. Like that's how you say it.
Intentional. I disagree. When you really think back, like I was talking about with like Britney Spears and all this other shit, Christina Aguilera.
Tenendo, what's up?
Tenendo, what's good, dude? Welcome.
Too you late, man.
Welcome.
We needed you.
Where were you? No,
we needed you out here, man. We're like over an hour in and shit. We already got all the juicy parts.
What's up, man? How you doing? No, so like I think just nowadays, like with kids have more exposure to see what goes on in this world than adults are gonna take advantage of shit. Like I don't like if anybody's gonna be predators in this world, it's not gonna be kids. It's gonna be adults trying to take advantage of kids, not kids taking advantage of adults. And the adults know what the hell they're marketing out there, and they know what they're pushing for. They know what kids want, and it's like that's like the whole fucking what's that kid's name, Ryan, whatever, who's got that toy channel and shit. Like he talks that channel, but who runs that shit? His parents. And I hope it ain't him. I hope he ain't like that damn smart, but his parents run that shit. But he's like,
I think he's smarter than his parents.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's smarter than the average kid. But
he tell his parents to bend the knee.
Oh man, he ain't Richie Rich now. I mean, he ain't gonna run the shit like that. His kid's like,
he could be like, I'm not making no more videos with you, Dad. Come at me. The dad's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Ryan. Then you see his dad fucking at his feet begging him and shit. I'm sorry, Ryan. We'll give you cookies and milk whenever the fuck you want. I'm pretty sure that's not what he wants. I'm pretty sure he wants like an open internet access to where he can fucking run any channel he wants.
With a kid?
I bet you. Watch when Ryan grows up, right? I'm talking about Ryan the toy kid.
Yeah, he's gonna be a dickhead. Watch.
He's gonna be making all those fucking wild YouTube videos.
Or a pedophile. I'm calling right now.
I'm sure because
hot take. Sorry, Ryan. Please don't sue us.
He's getting all that fucking.
If you hear this, then just at least.
You think Ryan's seen that Cuties movie?
Who?
Ryan.
Why would he be in that shit?
Yo, Tenendo, we were talking about that Netflix movie Cuties. Have you seen it? About the little kids?
I saw Cuties. Well, I saw Cuties today.
Yeah, we're talking about all that nasty shit.
I mean, no, man. I mean,
it's not nasty. Like Christy's seen it. I didn't see it, but he's seen it, and then he.
I gave it 7.
Saying like
7.5 out of 10.
It was giving out like a good story. They were trying to portray a message, but.
Tendo says, I'm scared to click on it. I feel you, man.
Yeah, I was scared too. Because look, somebody told me to watch it, right? I was like, I told them, I said, hey, this is not my Netflix account. It's my brother's, right? I said, man, if my brother, he looked at my shit, like, dude, why are you watching Cuties for? That's why I never clicked on it. Because I was like, I don't want to do no research on this movie.
He's like, I know.
I told Chris, I was at work. I was like, hey, Chris, we should do this shit on Cuties. You know, so Chris had to take the fucking.
Today's my day off.
Yeah,
I had to jump on the sword because
he had to jump on that sword. I said, "Hey, dude."
Billy's like,
it's like watch it or not, whatever. Let's cover this.
Billy's like, "Hey, I can't watch it per se, but I know a guy who has his own account.
Yeah.
And he gotta.
I didn't watch it.
Nobody's gonna judge him.
Like I wasn't scared, but You know, I'm pretty sure if you clicked on it, you'll be looking over his shoulder like,
Dude, I
like
closed
SWAT team was gonna kick your door
I closed
down.
my windows. I dropped the blinds. I was like, all right, man. I was like, but if somebody looks at my blinds, I'm like, I'm gonna look even extra creepy if they like get close enough to my window. But man, I was eating my lemon pepper wings and just like, yeah, whatever. Like, okay, kids, get to the dance routine. Fuck, I want to get back to the store.
You're normalized, man. This is normal for you.
No, I try to be subjective about a lot of shit, man. Even no matter how harsh it is, man. I try to be.
Yeah.
I try to see both sides of shit, even if it's.
That's why, like, you're the perfect guy, like, to go in and investigate.
I'm the canary in the coal mine. Like, send this bird in. Send this bird in. See if it's poisonous in here.
I can send you like a dark web link and shit and let you investigate.
Yeah, I run out.
And I'm pretty sure you'd be down to fucking investigate.
I'll come back like, yo, don't look at that shit.
That's why you're the dude, man. You're the internet guy.
I'm the internet guy. Oh, like that's like last week. You heard about a guy who committed suicide on Facebook and posted on TikTok? I seen
He didn't post it on TikTok, but it got viral on TikTok.
Okay, yeah. I came across it on Reddit, and you know how Reddit is. And then somebody had the link.
Reddit is fucking crazy.
I love Reddit, dude. That's like my favorite spot now.
Like I'm on there so much, it's almost like my humor is.
It's Reddit style now. It's
like because I was thinking of like posting up like a comment to where it has nothing to do with the fucking the question they asked because I was on Reddit mode and I was out of control and shit.
Yo, like, these normies won't get it
because they were saying like if Dora Explorer had a porno movie, right? Like what would the title be? I was like, I read all like the comments and it's like Dora like exploring inside Dora. Like it's like you know, everything that has to do with Dora Explorer. But I was thinking like outside the box and shit, like her fucking dinosaurs, but not naming it like Dora doing it.
I was thinking like Journey to the Inside of Dora, kind of like Journey Inside of the Earth.
Yeah, a lot of the comments were like that. I was trying to like come a different angle and shit.
It's tough. Reddit's kind of like, yo, if you come in, you better come with your best.
Like Cuties Part 2. They'd be like, Cuties whoa, the next level and shit. It was nothing to do with Dora. It was like Cuties, like the sequel.
They would say Cuties 2, the sequel. Like, what the fuck?
I like missed the train because I thought about that shit.
Oh,
I was like, damn, I have to wait 20 minutes now.
Tanunda says, damn it, that's it. I'm watching it. I do show the movie reviews. He's like, Cuties 2.0. 2.0.
Dude, it's a...
I mean,
from what people are saying, dude, there's a lot of twerking, a lot of ass shaking, a lot of kids fucking popping their ass on the ground.
It's very cringeworthy, and I think that's like the angle that they're coming from to make you feel like, hey, if you feel uncomfortable about this is really happening out there. And that's what I want. When I got done,
I'm pretty sure it's happening, but it's way worse.
It's probably worse. Exactly. I'm like, this is like the most light version we can see of it. And
which is it's still bad, like actually seeing it like in a film like this because you're seeing a girl like pop their ass and shit. You're seeing them in like a tight shirts, Daisy Dukes or whatever the fuck they're wearing and shit. I didn't watch the movie, but I saw the trailer and I was like, I can't watch this shit.
It's and I think like the way this movie is like people are trying to make this.
Tom Fox, what's up, dude?
Tom Fox, Olivia, what's up?
Rod Dora.
Yes, a Rod Dora.
Olivia was trying to make me watch it. I was like, nope. Fat man's gonna know.
He's like, what the fuck is my brother into? No, but the way the movie is like, I think people got the shit backwards. It's like, and actually, I had a conspiracy about. I think a lot of times the way the media tries to run with this story or anything else about Cuties, I think it's almost conspiracy theory and backwards in itself. They didn't want people to see this movie because then it exposes like, hey, this is how society really is, how the internet runs itself. This is how like Disney Channel is, or I'm never saying Nintendo, Nickelodeon is. Like a lot of shit's like these kid channels do a lot of shit of exposing kids already, and in some weird ways, especially if you hear about the story about what's that big motherfucker? He was like a showrunner for Nickelodeon for like Kenan and Kel, all the shit. But he did a show with Ariana Grande where she was showing her feet a lot. This motherfucker has a fucking huge foot fetish.
The Victorious show. Nickelodeon?
Maybe I don't know what the show's called, but
that's where I saw Ariana Grande.
But that, like, she's like all like super tiny with red hair or some shit or whatever.
Yeah,
that like she shows her feet a lot in that show. He was a showrunner for it, but has a huge foot fetish. So it's almost like, in my opinion, I feel like they don't want people to see this movie in the type of way because it kind of exposes like this the reality of like kids are being exposed and
you think like pedophiles. Like the rich ones, right? The rich pedophiles. You think they had any hand on this movie, the Cuties movie on Netflix? Like, you think they had like any say, like how they wanted the movie to be portrayed? Like, as far as like showing like kids, like looking at kids like as like a sexual thing and shit, sexualizing kids. You think they had a hand on that and saying like, hey, let's make it a little bit more sexual? Because like you said, like there was like some scenes where the cameraman fucking zooms up on their fucking ass crack while they're popping their ass and shit.
And he gets all in there.
And that's crazy, right? It's been much. Like imagine being the cameraman just running up to your fucking a little 11-year-old girl's ass crack, and the cameraman's fucking running over there and fucking zooming up on their fucking ass.
I'm pretty sure he just zoomed in. Is that crazy? I'm pretty sure he just zoomed in. I don't know if he like.
So that's why, like, that's why it gets sketchy to where you think about, hey, do any pedophiles like in that field with the movie field had any hand on how they wanted the movie to be portrayed like that?
I don't think anybody had a hand. I don't think anybody making this movie had a hand in it. I do think Netflix. I'll go as far as say this. I think Netflix may have been the one to blame if you want to talk about who promoted this movie to be sexualizing kids, because the movie doesn't necessarily try to go in that angle itself, but when they promote it as that poster, it's like, holy fuck! Even when I was like, why the fuck would I ever watch this? Like,
here's where Netflix fucked up. Like, if they knew it was like that fucked up, they allowed that shit to happen. They are the gatekeepers, as far as like, letting type of movies like that.
Yeah.
Because Netflix, man, it's like a respected brand, right? They're known to have like legit movies, but then when you have a movie that's this controversial, like with little kids and stuff, it gets a little sketchy. That makes you wonder, like, who's actually controlling Netflix. Like, I was thinking Netflix, the CEO or whatever, the guy on the top dog, he was being blackmailed and shit because maybe he has something to do with kids. So they're saying, hey, man, you better release this film. So they released the film on Netflix. Oh, knowing that it's like such a big platform like that, where they don't fuck around like that. Like, you wouldn't even think Netflix would even hold a title like that.
Hey, I mean,
because it is like an independent film, right?
Yeah, it's definitely indie film, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then how it's made and shit, and Netflix happens to.
But indie films always be kind of like pushing that envelope of like fucking.
That's a bit much though, like especially because they're kids. They're not adults popping their ass. They're kids.
Well, I mean, there's an indie film, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen this movie. It's called Let the Right One In. I can't remember if that's the name of the indie film. It might be the American version of it, but it's about this little boy who comes across a vampire. But this is a full scene where they show like a little girl who's like full body naked from head to toe. She was a vampire girl from head to toe, completely naked. But it was an indie film, and I was like, God damn, they could have just did it without that. But the indie films be pushing them envelopes like that though. That's how they get down.
I want to watch it though now.
It's interesting, man. They just gotta, like I said, man. The moments where they were like dancing, I was like, okay, let me grab my phone. Okay, I'm gonna get some topics for tonight's show.
That's when it was like the nasty part.
Little tiny news. I look up. I'm like, okay, well, she's doing. I'm like, why is this motherfucker doing a split? Okay, back to the phone.
Why is she taking a picture of her vagina?
Well, actually, I came off this movie on the wrong foot because when in the beginning we were talking about this as a topic for tonight. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go and I was like, hey, I'm gonna watch the show. And then before I even start eating my wings, I was like, yo, I need to do my dishes because my dishes been sitting like this for a while. I thought it was going to be in English.
Subtitles?
As soon as I heard like, parlez-vous français? That's not what they say, but it's in French. I was like, fuck. I was like, so I stopped my dishes. I'm like, well, it looks like I'm going to be watching this shit. I was already irritated when I first started. It's all in French. All in French. And then when I was watching it, I was like, okay, and I got to read. I have no problem with subtitles. It's just that I was trying to listen and do my shit in the house at the same time.
I get it. Because like when I started a new show, and then I was like, oh shit, you got to read, but they're speaking a different language. I was like, oh,
I'm not in the mood.
Let me
for
just eat first.
Yeah, like I'm not really in the mood.
All right, Tom Fox says, I don't get why people are shocked. It's so high on ranking. It's been a talk of the internet. See, that's like we talked about this earlier. How on Rotten Tomatoes they have like a 90%. But it's all from like a critics
from a film critic.
But then like from the audience rating is like 11%. So it was a huge difference.
Yes,
which is it's
vastly
weird.
Different.
It's not that weird, but it makes sense as far as like promoting a movie type of thing.
Well, is he like this? Either this and
I think a lot of those people were paid to do that shit. I know a lot of them like were disgusted, but they were paid to give like a positive review. Which is why I don't ever go to Rotten Tomatoes no more. That shit is trash.
This got exposed years ago. Rotten Tomatoes is
trash. In the beginning, it was legit. I remember it was 100% legit. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool, okay. But then like later, did they get bought out or something? They got bought out, and now
Google, I think, maybe bought it out. I can't remember who bought that shit out. But sometime in 2010s,
all the reviews paid for
all the time.
Because remember when Chappelle dropped that skit or whatever?
Was it stand up?
Yeah, on Netflix, and then the reviews are so fucking bad and shit. But if you go watch it, like, why is the reviews bad? But then you look at the audience reviews,
fucking awesome,
100% and shit.
I can agree on shit, man. And I feel like something like with this movie, with Cuties, most of the reviews by from normal people,
pedophile.
Maybe the pedophiles
the positive reviews, all the positive ones
for pedophiles.
It's from pedophiles.
Like, this is Oscar worthy. Like, this is.
I'm telling you, they're trying to normalize that shit to where you're supposed to be comfortable at looking at a young girl, and then let's say like the upcoming generations, right? It's okay for them to look at young girls like that. So it's become like, let's say 10 years from now, that shit is normalized where it's okay. And like I was telling you earlier about that bill that passed in California.
Yeah.
The one where they say like, okay,
the kids
you can have sex with somebody as long as you're within that 10-year gap.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could be like 24. You can have sex with somebody that's 14 years old, and you would not be like, qualified as a sex offender. You'll be like straight because you're in that 10-year gap, which is like a bill that protects pedophiles. I'm
gonna try to look more into this because it can't be just that easy to be like, I'm 25. I fucked this 15-year-old. It's gotta be like stipulation. So like,
yeah, it's more complicated.
Yeah,
but it's in that. It's like that's like the ballpark.
Okay, so let's say like if you have like mental retardation or whatever, or some kind of like some kind of mental disability to where you have sex with a 15-year-old, should they charge you for having sex with this 15-year-old as like fucking a minor because you weren't in your mind? You don't have the capabilities to understand between right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like as being a 35-year-old, if I go smash like a 50-year-old, then I'm clear of sound, mind, and body. I hope I am. But if I'm this type of person, I'm very well aware of what's going on. I should be charged with this. Or say if I'm like, better yet, I'm 25, a girl's 15 in California. As a 25-year-old, because I have no mental disabilities or anything like that, if I sleep with this girl, then okay, I need to be charged with pedophilia. But let's say if like I'd have mental issues. Like legit mental issues. Why can't tell the difference between right and wrong? Should I be charged for this because I didn't know any better? So that's what I'm wondering. It's going to be on that level. It can't just be like no free fall. Like, hey, 25 years old, yo, gang, yo, let's run up on this fucking 15-year-old. It's not going to be. It can't be that insane. Like, we got some stupid ass laws in this country. We really do. Like, elephants can't park on the street. Some weird ass old laws. They don't seem to fucking change. But this one, I'm like, God damn, it can't be. God, I hope not. I think
it should be like dropped to like 5 years. But the reason why I'm saying like 5 years is because it's that time frame, like when you're sexually active, like in high school and stuff. It should be more like targeted towards like that age group.
I disagree.
Like between like you're like 11.
Talking about when making this movie?
No, like the kids like are in high school, the one that are sexually active, having sex with each other. That law should protect them. But it shouldn't be no 10 years gap where somebody's like 24. Somebody's like they graduated a long time ago. They're 24 and they're still fucking with a 14-year-old.
Yeah. They
should still get fucked up for that. Like I'm saying, they should change that law a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
can I make
cut it down like in half because it's affecting most of like high school kids. Because the high school kids are having sex with each other. Because a senior can have sex with a freshman, like I was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
That's bound to happen. You know, you're in school. You're in school with your classmates or whatever. You're gonna end up fucking your classmates and shit. That shit's gonna that's happening. It's not like we can sit here and say that's not happening. That shit is happening, and they shouldn't be. To me, I don't think they should be charged like for like a sex offender because you're a senior in high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a crush on somebody as a freshman, and you're. I'm not saying I did this, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure it happened.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be fucked up. Like they shouldn't be charged like a sex offender.
Yeah, because that's kind of like within your environment. Now, if you say like if you graduate outside that environment, but then again, you got some motherfuckers who are 20 that's seniors. I've heard stories. And then what if you?
It's a lot. It's still same thing. You're still it's still like the same thing, like with a 5-year range, but a 10-year gap. Like what
that's way too extreme. No, yeah, that's Actually, I need to extreme. Dude,
10 years is a big gap. Dude.
That's a fucking big ass gap, man. Like there's people who like maybe there's females who I've dated that were maybe like 4 years younger than me, 5 years younger than me, and then don't really get any jokes I say. I'm like, holy shit, it's not even that big of a gap of understanding. But then there's somebody else I've met that's been around the same age of where they get the same shit I understand too. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
What's going on with the chat? I see the shit
Tom
popping.
Fox says, imagine it was your daughter and the police wouldn't do anything.
Like with the high school kid. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want my daughter to be with anybody. I want her to be like a fucking saint forever. To the day
That's why I'm gonna have robot kids.
she lives this earth. Say robot kids.
I'm gonna have robot kids, man. Fuck that shit, dude.
Man.
Because the world right now, it's a little too fucked up. It's too sketchy to have a kid right now.
It's a scary place, man.
It's very scary, dude. Because even the kids that's growing up right now, like the kids that's within their range of 2 to 10 years old right now, it's a crazy world for them because it's too wild right now. Because the adults don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's too much.
So the kids, it's like a free for all for kids right now, and they're all really connected to the internet. They can see like way more shit than we do.
Tenendo says, "Get a cat. All is good with a cat." I used to have a cat, and I technically have a new cat right now. I mean,
You got a new cat?
It's unofficial, but his name's Jack, and he showed up at the porch and he walks in the apartment.
No, that's your cat.
Huh?
You gotta take a picture. Show me.
Yeah, he's like a yellow cat. He's orange.
Oh.
He's an orange or whatever.
Brown cat.
'Cause I had a black cat before.
I used to have a brown cat.
I had a black cat last year. He passed away. His name was Huey. He broke my heart. And then I was like, I ain't gonna never get another cat again. And then
he shows up.
And he shows up, and now he's like,
that's cool.
Now he just be chilling in the apartment now. I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? And he be sitting at the front door. Like when I get off of work and I pull up to my apartment, he's always sitting there. Or when my park car pulls up,
It's like, your boy sent me. Your boy sent me here.
or if he's not in front of my apartment and I get out of my car and I'm going to my apartment, he'll be across the street. He'll come running like, oh shit.
Oh.
He's like, yo, wait, what up? And then
Wait up, man. I was sent here.
that's good, man. They take care of themselves, man. They're like smart babies.
Like, they gave me a message, man. That's cool, dude. No cats run to me, dude.
Oh, cats. I love cats, dude. They're cool. Well, actually, cats are alright, I guess. What am I looking at? Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. So, Tenendo, I saw you said something earlier. And I agree with that. It says giving a bad review without watching is dumb. Hell yeah.
Yeah, see, you see what Tom Fox says? He says, with a 10 years difference, 14 and 24, it's wrong. It's completely wrong.
Hell yeah. I agree with that.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane.
You know, coming from like Austin, Texas out here, it's fucking crazy. You know how like Texas is, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like its own country.
Yeah.
They do like whatever the fuck they want and shit.
Yeah, the lone state, man.
That's why like Joe Rogan, he is fucking out of control over there.
Hey, man,
I wouldn't say out of control. I'm exaggerating, but he's having a lot of fun out there.
I'm pretty sure he enjoys it more than LA, man. Living in that
He
city.
can probably make up his own laws, and the governor over there be like, "Dude, go for it."
Do it, man. Do you want
Because they respect him like so much, dude.
Oh, you that Joe Rogan, man? Oh, this is your land. This you do what you want. So
Joe Rogan's like, "Hey, can I build like a bar and comedy club out here?" They're like, do it. Go ahead.
So I don't know why you asking me.
Can I have a goat? Go ahead.
I don't know why you asking me, Mr. Hollywood. You can do
He's
it.
like, could I do a gun range too? Go, dude. I don't even know you could do that, but go ahead.
He's like, can I do a Brazilian Jitsu gym? He's like, what's a Brazilian what? Like, so I was gonna take it in that direction.
Can I open up my own like a DMT bar? They have that shit in Florida, dude.
Is that some kind of like? Is it on tap? Like that's how Texas gonna take it. Is it on
Joe
tap?
Rogan, now. That's the manly man.
It's okay. So Tenendo
Texas
says,
is hardcore. That's what Tenendo said.
oh yeah, man. They got
Yo,
big
I gotta take a leak real quick.
yeah. Actually, I gotta go too.
Be right back, guys.
Hold on, we'll be back. I know it.
Before I wash my hands, but
I know it.
yeah, we're live. But yeah, I wash my hands.
Okay.
Hold on, guys.
All right. What's going on?
Some ice.
That should be good for now. Let's finish this up. Oh. Damn, son. Tenendo says, is 40 years and a 20-year-old bad?
Wait, hold on. We gotta say. All right, we're back, guys.
Oh, shit. My bad. Okay.
It's for the editor, man.
Sorry.
All right, we're back, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, folks. All right, let's go. All right, Tenendo says in the chat, says, is 40 years old and 20 years old bad? I mean, it's legal. I mean, if I had a kid, I'm like, God damn, especially if it's a damn daughter. I'm like, hell no, you are not
Okay,
going to
look.
20.
Once you go past 18, it's fair game.
Look,
You're
all
straight.
bets are off, man. That's the reality of the world.
I think like anything like
I I wouldn't want my kid going through it, but
Okay, I think they made it right to where 18 you're legal. I think that's like the perfect age for you to be like considered an adult. I think that's the perfect age.
What is
Either like 18, either 18 or 16. I know like before in Roman times, like the legal age was like 7 or something.
God damn.
You know, they were lighting those little kids up, dude.
Oh yeah, man, they didn't.
And they're trying to bring that back into like the modern society to make it normal for you to think about like a little kid like that.
But they was doing that shit with the boys and shit. Oh,
They don't get fucked up by that movie, man. Don't get like because like I was telling Chris earlier, maybe it's like to wake up pedophiles that they didn't know they're pedophiles, but watching that movie, it wakes up a whole bunch of pedophiles, right? So then it'd be like, hey man, this shit's normal, and then a lot of people's gonna fight about it and shit, and they're gonna end up fucking saying that shit is normal.
Yeah, I could
Man,
go in that direction.
all I gotta say is, dude,
It's gonna take,
especially
it's
like
gonna
the
take a
kids,
generation though.
especially like the kids like in California right now, since they passed that law with the 10-year gap shit, dude, you better learn how to run fast.
And it's already in effect. Like this is like
Yeah,
this is like,
they passed it last week.
man, that's the last thing they be worried. That's the last thing they need to be worried about. Like goddamn fires all over the place and
Yeah, it's a bill. It's the SB 145 bill. You guys can look that up and research for yourself. It's pretty wild.
There's gotta be some stipulations to that shit. It can't be that fucking cut and dry. Of like 10 years of like 24 and 14. Hey, it's all good, man. As long as you don't hit 13, you hit 14 and up.
As long as you waited.
That's Jesus Christ.
Or if like you're like fucking 10 years old and that kid is 1 year old.
Tenendo.
Imagine that.
Is that?
You're like 10 years old and you can have sex with a 1-year-old because it's a 10-year gap. That 10-year-old's not going to be charged like that.
God,
Is that a bit wild?
That's fucking insane.
That is insane, dude. That's crazy. I'm gonna
read more about this
Scott
book.
Wiener. Scott Wiener.
Oh my God, they made this motherfucker like
He needs to be burned on a stake. Fuck that dude, man. Red Dead Redemption his ass.
Tenendo says, he says after 18, fair game? ? Oh, 21. I actually agree with 21.
I say wait till 21.
I say 21 is like
because that's when like
most,
they're more mentally mature too.
yes.
But
Well, even
that's like
more than 18. I give that. Maybe I
yeah.
don't fucking know.
21, I will say is like do whatever the hell you want.
I even say like I'll say everything should be 21 to be like considered adult, including joining the military, buying alcohol. They already got alcohol, but joining the military I think should be 21. Alcohol's already for 21. 18s are like out here. 21s for cigarettes now. You can't buy cigarettes till you're 21.
At where?
Like anywhere and anywhere. You have to be 21 to buy cigarettes now.
Are you serious?
This started
like nationwide?
New Year's, I think it started. Yeah.
Wow, that's
New
crazy.
Year's. You have to be 20 years old to buy cigarettes now. Like
21 years old.
21. This
Wow.
whole shit of like 18.
I had
shit.
no idea.
Started the beginning of this year, 2020.
Wow.
I remember back in December last year, there was like
Nobody made noise because they were all vaping.
there was like fuck. Well, y'all should have made this shit back because the people gonna find a way to like.
All the
feed
kids
their
were
vices.
vaping already. They're like, okay, whatever.
Or
There's a
fucking
loophole.
popping pills and shit like cigarettes. Like, what are you gonna do about this oxycodone?
I didn't know about that though.
Yeah, so I remember back in December they kept putting signs up all over stores saying like, "Hey, like if you was born this year, you ain't buying cigarettes for another 3 years." Yeah.
Tom Fox says it all gets to all of Epstein's list off the hook. Well, the people that's like
with the net.
Like he can blackmail the blackmail list.
I guess a lot of
That's what I'm thinking. Tenno says nowadays nobody looks their age. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
We were talking about that last week. Like the kids.
Yeah, we did. Kids don't look like kids no more.
That's like fucking 16. They look like they're in their mid-20s.
They're 26.
Yeah, even like the guys too and shit. Like we were saying how like Logan Paul looks fucking old as fuck.
Dude, he looks like we talking about. He looks like in his fucking 30s, but he's like 23 or some shit, 24. Like,
He's a young ass brain, dude. His brain is like a child's brain.
But maybe that's why.
But then he looks like a fucking old ass dude. That's why this shit looks so fucking crazy when he's doing all that fucked up shit.
Unless maybe that's why they created the whole 10-year gap, because kids look older than what they are. Kids, and I've heard stories of this. I'm not.
No.
I've never fallen in this trap. No, hear me out. I'm not making excuses for nothing. All right. This is a possibility, right? This happens. This does happen. All right. Kids sometimes, teenage kids, will be attracted to older people who are actually legit adults, and they lie about their age.
Yep.
What if they maybe they look like maybe in the early 20s or whatever?
They've been doing
but
it
they're
forever.
like 16. Yeah, kids been doing this forever. They can get away with it. And what if like an adult or whatever wants to mess with them, but they legit not know their age? They just went based off their looks.
Oh.
It might cover them on that shit of like, hey, like, yeah, you fuck this kid.
I understand from that point.
Like,
Not like I went through it, but I can understand.
Like from like hey, like these motherfuckers lie about their age sometimes, and you kind of cross that line of like,
yeah.
and
Fuck
then
those kids.
So
trying to play me like that. Not like it happens. I'm just saying.
oh, we're gonna get fucking canceled,
Dude.
Oh, this is the big one. This is it. This is our last episode, guys.
Like, pull up that footage from that Twitch.
Oh my god! Don't ever run for any political office. They're gonna fuck you up.
He
with
is
this.
trying to not say like this happened. It never happened, guys. But get into the chat. Tom Fox says, yeah, they get into the club like that. It's scary shit. It is scary.
Real,
but
like,
dude, that is true, right? A lot of the young
don't
girls,
lie about that shit. I've heard like a
they
lot of
would
this kind of shit.
fucking lie about their age to get into the club. And then, okay, it's an adult club, right? The guy is looking at this female. He's not even thinking about her age because you have to be over age to fucking get in the club anyway.
Yeah.
So he's not even worried about if she's underage. So let's say he gets into like a conversation with a girl. They kick it off and shit, whatever. They're having a nice time. And then he ends up taking her home and sleeping with her. And, you know, he's not even thinking anything about her age because the club is
supposed to be of that age
21 and up club and shit. And then he's fucking this girl and she happened to be fucking 14 years old. What happens to that guy?
And now you caught up. So now it's like, is this
So
law?
that 10-year gap, it helps him.
In some kind of way, yeah. So it's not going to be always... I'm not saying I agree with 100% with this law. It's got to be some stipulations with this shit, though. It can't just be like...
Of course, but still, it's still pretty wild.
Blow some 14-year-olds back out because you're 24 now. Like, that's this open season for pedophiles. So it's got to be like some kind of protection, like, hey, these people lie about their age too, and
This is what I was
caught
saying,
up in
right?
shit.
This is what I was saying about how the future is and how everybody should be verified and shit. Because people can easily go on like YouTube, whatever, with a fake account and they can talk all their shit, right?
They do it all day, man.
But I'm thinking like you have like one master account where that's your only account where you can make comments and shit.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking like a country where everything is controlled by one person, like me and shit. But like let's say like like you have like one master account where you're verified, right? Where they know who exactly is making the comments. People would be like watch what they say and shit when they're typing whatever comment and shit, right?
Yeah.
So like, let's say like you're in a club. It's like the same shit. You're verified. You're the person you say you are. So right as soon as you get into like the front of the club where they scan your ID and shit, they already know like, okay, you're verified 21 years old.
Yeah.
That shit would work, right? Like as far as like saving like these guys from having sex with underage females and shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of them clubs don't even.
That's why like the technology has to catch up to where everybody has to be put in like a system, which I think like a lot of people's not going to agree with because it goes like with the chip in everybody. Nobody wants to be chipped like that.
What at the same time too is like if these clubs are going to be private companies, which that's what it is.
It's just for their protection though.
But then there's like the company
and the protection of their customers.
But the club,
which makes sense.
But then think about like this. So like say like some clubs are saying like, yeah, we don't want to spend that much X amount of money for these scan machines, because it's gonna cost us like this amount of money. Like they don't like nobody can force them to do this. The clubs can do it if they want to, but then what if it's like say like maybe for expense reasons or the reason like say they already spending too much money already to get people into the club. Like this is like another thing they gotta pay for and they don't want to. Or you can have like somebody who's running like a club who is like fucking. He don't care if underage girls are walking in that bitch or not. As long as somebody buying drinks for them, as long as something happening there, as long as they make their money and they paying to get in.
That's usually clubs that are fucking dying.
They're not really right now. The clubs dying.
All clubs are dying. All clubs are dead.
Oh, with quarantine, yeah. I was thinking about like.
Yeah, they're all fucking venturing out to like different career paths and shit. They're like out there doing like.
I think strip clubs are next, man. With OnlyFans. Well, no, I don't think OnlyFans is gonna build that big.
I'm pretty sure all the strippers are doing OnlyFans.
Hey, they're going. Hey.
Even the fucking managers and the business owners, the guy that fucking built the shit, he's doing OnlyFans too.
Oh shit. I don't believe you,
It's
man.
a joke.
Nah, I get it.
It's a
I
joke.
got it.
But I'm sure
Got it.
I'm sure the females are doing it easily.
For sure.
Let's get to the chat real quick. Teno says, internet is very powerful stuff. You can get fired from your job if you say something wrong.
That's true.
Yo, Real Pesos, what's up, man? Welcome back.
What's going on? What's going on?
Pesos says, what's good? Hey, what's
Welcome.
good, dude? Welcome back, man.
Welcome.
But yeah, man. Hide your kids.
But
Your kid will be kidnapped. Remember that video I sent you about that kid being kidnapped? I'm pretty sure this video went viral on the internet right now.
which one?
But it shows a kid eating with their family out in the middle of they're eating like on a patio on a restaurant. Dude jumps over the fucking rail, right? First thing he does, he grabs the fucking child. And it's like a little girl, blonde hair girl. Fucking grabs the girl, right? And then another guy comes out of nowhere, fucking chokes the dude out
Yeah.
while he was grabbing the girl. And that's crazy. That's in broad daylight. In
yeah.
front of a lot of people. And I was telling Chris, like, I was like, dude, that little girl was probably like a holographic Charizard card.
Yeah, I was dying laughing. You told me that. I was like
A
rare breed.
A rare breed. Because she was like it looked like your typical, 6-year-old kid with blonde hair. It's like the perfect shit that a pedophile would look for.
Blue eyes, blonde hair.
To where they paid somebody like $1 million to kidnap the girl. And he was like, man, I can't. Like, she's out there in the restaurant. Like, I'm going to just go grab her. Because he was like, fuck it. I'm going to just go grab the kid and then just fucking bounce, Because, when is he ever going to get the opportunity again?
Oh, maybe he's tried before and he's like, fuck these kids. These parents are always around. This is my only chance. Like, he probably been scoping them out, man. And he's like, fuck this. These parents never go away. They're at Joe's Crab Shack. Fuck it. Fuck this quarantine shit. I'm jumping this wall.
Yeah.
And he tried, man.
He saw that girl. He was like, fuck, there's like a diamond right now. I'm going to grab that diamond.
Dude, hey, that's
and
no
I don't
chance.
care who's around. Because if you look at the video, this dude did not give a fuck who the fuck was
Hell
there.
no.
He was just like, fuck it. I'm going to jump over the rail. I'm going to grab that little girl.
Bro, that's like a snatch and grab from a store. You just run in and grab something and run out. But
Yeah.
this is like snatch and grab a baby.
He had no idea. Like, there's another dude that was at the restaurant, and it looked like he was like a jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, you got his ass down quick.
Because he
Choked
choked his ass out, dude.
The first time I saw that video a couple of days before you sent it to me, I didn't notice that until you sent it to me. Was it today or yesterday, whenever it was?
It looks like the guy was a fighter, man.
That's when I noticed. I was like, the
Where he took him
chokehold.
down.
I was like, oh. I was like, damn, I didn't realize that choke he had on him. He
It was tight, man.
should have killed him.
He might have been
He'd
like
have
a
been a
brown
hero.
belt.
The fuck is going on with my laptop? This shit's tripping.
Oh,
What's going
the
on?
chat says holographic. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, super
Tino
rare,
says
baby.
I would have beat that dude down. Yeah, the dude got fucking laid out.
Yeah, man.
He probably fucking choked him till he passed out too. Because
I would have.
think about like that situation, right? You're seeing like a little girl. She's about to get kidnapped, and then you're the only dude there. And you're the one. You got like the dude in the fucking chokehold. Dude, I would not even let go, man.
Yeah, because the dude that did
Fuck
the
that
chokehold,
guy.
he was like, he worked there, didn't he? I think he might have been like,
He might have worked there.
I
He
can't
was
so
a
much
big
going
ass
on,
dude.
but he got his ass.
Yeah.
But don't break it. I hope he didn't crush his throat because we need to get some information out of him, like who you work for. He ain't doing this. Ain't no solo
That dude would have been
shits.
dead, man. Especially like if that kid was like somebody that you knew too.
Oh yeah, for real.
Because the way that dude grabbed the girl's head is almost like she could have died too.
Yeah, broke her damn neck or some
Because
shit.
he was just like, fuck it, let me just grab this kid. And the way he grabbed her was so aggressive.
Like a
Like he
potato
could have
sack.
easily snapped her head because she was like a young girl, maybe like eight at the most.
For real, I thought she was like 3, 2, 3.
She was
like,
old enough to sit in a regular human seat.
Oh, okay.
I mean, adult seat. Why I say human?
Let me see.
Yeah, she was old enough to
Lizard
sit
baby.
like. She's old enough to sit like in a regular adult seat, so she was old enough. That was wild. That was actually it was a scary ass footage.
Yeah, I just watched it. Even the second time I saw it again, I was like, this shit is very
Hey, you seen that, Tenendo? You saw that video? He said it was too crazy.
He said 6 or 7.
6, 7. Yeah, it's in that range. Under 10 for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. That definitely wasn't like no 10, 11 or nothing like that. That was
That was a wild ass footage.
damn near like toddler mode, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that shit was wild though. That shit was like very disturbing. It's like, and daylight too, man. What the fuck? That's how you know, like, they're getting pressured, man. These motherfuckers are getting pressured. They just getting desperate at this point to like, too many people will be knowing about it, man.
Yeah, it's the people at the top that's I wouldn't say desperate, but they will pay more money to have like people get the kids for them.
I mean, that's what the market has.
So it's
for,
like a
man.
higher price because like that girl has like a high price on her because the dude, he did it in broad daylight. So she was worth a lot of money.
Well, maybe not so much.
I'm guessing like over 100,000 for that kid.
Or maybe not so much particularly on that girl in itself, but just like the rarity of that type of girl, or maybe how she looked or
Yeah,
whatever.
because
But,
it
you know
was
what I'm
it was a
saying?
blonde. It was a blonde child.
There you go, man.
Maybe she had blue eyes, and that was like specific to whatever person who paid that amount, right? It's like, hey, I ordered a blonde girl, like maybe 6 to 8 years old, blonde girl with blue eyes. Go get her for me.
I guarantee you the market.
And I paid like 100,000, whatever. And then it goes like through all these people, and then the boss is like, hey, somebody has to like to get this girl. We'll pay you like 60 grand.
I
And
guarantee.
then boom, he's like, fuck, there's a girl right there. That's the one they want.
Oh shit.
60 grand. All you gotta do is fucking snatch her up.
But you gotta think about it like this too. If that's what they want out of like a kid for that amount of money, if that's like that rare breed kid that they want. Imagine this. The market's probably oversaturated with a bunch of minorities from like poor countries and shit. Like this,
Like
get
from those
snatched
disaster
up.
storms.
Like does that like probably was like Puerto Rico. He's talking about like a long time ago. And maybe it's just like maybe out here even in America, just poor areas where like they can snatch up any minority kid from these poor areas in other countries. They say Philippines, all the shit.
They wanted to get the blonde heads.
But the blonde heads, they like that
because that's their own
top
people.
dollar baby like type shit. Yeah.
Well, not their own people. Because I don't know. I don't really know who they are.
Yeah,
but I would assume like the blonde heads will be like a top prize for them
but you gotta think about it too. They probably just paying.
because they watch their kids,
But you gotta think about this.
or they have people that watch their kids.
You gotta think about this too. The people that want these kids, for whatever reason, they're
It's
paying
hard to get them.
They're paying poor people to steal poor people. They're not gonna pay no fucking well together by who has life together. They're paying poor people that live in that area so they can blend in, I guess, or whatever. Well, he didn't really fucking blend in. I don't know what he was, but they're paying people that probably live in that area, probably look normal.
The do boys, what they call them?
Joe, I don't know, like
The
this.
people that just do jobs.
Just like, I guess the do boys or whatever.
Contractors.
Just, hey, give them money. Like, hey, you look like you're hurting right now.
Hey, kidnap me a Chris Jones. Kidnap me a Chris, an albino Chris Jones. Find him, 100,000 is yours.
Keep that receipt. Keep
And then the dude sees a Chris Jones in the wild, albino. He's like, fuck.
like fucking Pokemon.
In the fucking zoo, there's like 100 people around him. Like, fuck that. I'm gonna grab this kid. They're not gonna stop
jump
me.
the wall for me.
I'll fucking climb on that wall. Like if I was the dude that was supposed to get you, man, I would kidnap you in style. Do a backflip and shit. Little cartwheel.
Just snatch me up.
Drop like a fucking ad.
You'll keep that receipt, my guy. You ain't gonna want me.
Subscribe to so-and-so channel. And then fucking yank you up and shit. Put you in like a little pouch that's made from fucking giraffe skin.
Like and subscribe.
Yep. Hell yeah. I'll kidnap you so easy. Don't make me like one of those guys.
Oh, you'll give me back, dude.
Don't brainwash me, dude. I'll kidnap everybody.
Oh my god.
Like, hey, we need you to kidnap everybody in the chat room.
Oh.
Say no more.
Run. See, somebody just left. Somebody just left too. Somebody just ran out of here. I got 5 viewers.
What's going on in the chat?
No, my battery's about to die.
Climb up the walls like Spider-Man. Hell yeah.
Damn, my laptop be dying fast as fuck.
You don't have it on a charger.
You don't have yours on your charger. We were running at the same time.
My laptop battery power is strong.
What was that, 47%? My shit's at 2.
Yeah.
Look at this
The
shit.
battery is good on my laptop.
Now mine's old, though. This is like 20.
It's like 9-hour battery life.
My shit's like 2012 laptop. Old shit.
You got anything else?
I mean,
I mean, do you guys want to talk about anything else besides these kids?
yeah, just like the pedophile episode. We gotta.
You guys want to talk about normal shit?
How's the weather, guys? How's everything?
Speaking about normal shit, you heard about the Oculus Quest leak?
Was that no? What?
Want to become famous by followers? Oh man, they got bots in here. Katie
Oh,
Long, what's going on?
Katie, what's good?
Katie.
Where were you?
It's been a while. Remember we were supposed to watch like a movie with her, but then like we forgot about that shit?
Real life caught up with us.
My bad.
Pisses us kidnap those bots. Hell yeah, get them out of here.
How did that happen though?
What?
Like, how do bots get in here like that?
I don't know, man.
Like, we're not even like.
We're not big like that. Why are they here? Damn, we have like. Damn,
Maybe they saw
bots.
like the background, the Joe Rogan background.
Probably. That's what it's like. Oh shit!
Like, how did they get in Joe Rogan's studio?
Joe Rogan's here. Bot attack.
Bots be lurking hard, man. But they don't give us like the extra views. Like if it's like extra bots in here,
for real. At least
does it
like
count,
make the
like,
views
for
go
views?
up. Yeah, at least make the views go up, my guy. Oh, but we saying like with the Quest 2? What was that?
Oh yeah, like there's like a leak for like the Quest, like the VR Quest and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to be doing like I think the event tomorrow where they're gonna announce like the new Quest 2. The Quest is like a standalone VR device where you don't need your computer.
Okay.
Remember they had like the first Quest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need your computer, but now they're releasing a new one.
Oh, so this has like.
It's like way more advanced. It's almost like 4K. Like if you're looking through the lenses, it looks like 4K shit.
And is it set up as the same as the one prior to that? Like the one.
Okay. It's the same where you don't need a computer, you don't need nothing.
Okay.
It's like a standalone device that has like the fucking cameras on the outside of the lens where it knows like your location within the room and shit.
Damn, I'm not even gonna ask for a release date for that shit. I know that shit coming out.
Dude, I want that, man.
I know they ain't coming out anytime soon, man.
I want that shit.
We just gotta survive.
Cause I used to play like poker and shit. Like I used to play poker in VR, and it was so fucking fun, dude. You're on like a real fucking poker table. You can fucking shuffle your chips and everything. You can talk to everybody on the table. You can buy people drinks. It's just like any other poker game, but in VR, it feels more personal. Like it's more real.
Okay.
It's fun as fuck, dude.
More intense. I can't even imagine because just in it itself is intense. Like I don't need no VR for that shit.
Playing like poker in VR with strangers, it's fun, dude.
Shit's dead, my baby. No. If I got tiny news, it's just dead, folks. So what we got?
Real Peso says someone was drinking wine boxes. Yeah, that was Bob.
Last week? Yes.
Where the hell is Bob at?
Probably working. Boomer Bob.
She's off, dude.
Oh, for real? Because she was probably picking on her, man. That's what why would she show for this shit?
Because we called her Boomer Bob. We made fun of her too much.
And that's why she's not showing up.
Now she's not showing up and shit.
We miss you, Bob. Hope you're doing good out there.
She's
I never called you Boomer Bob either. That was
you made that up though.
No, I did not. That was.
They said the kids are gonna call you Boomer Bob.
No, because I remember I said that I didn't think she was that old to be called a boomer. I said she does not look old for that. So
yeah, but it's a joke though.
No,
she is old.
No, yeah, she is. She's older than us.
All right, what else we got? Oh, we talked about that, right? The suicide video.
No, we didn't really get to that. We didn't.
There was a suicide video on Facebook Live that went viral on TikTok because as soon as they went on Facebook Live and shit, they took the video down. But a lot of people, they got the recordings of the video and they reposted on TikTok, and it blew up on TikTok because you know how TikTok the algorithms how they work on TikTok.
Yeah.
They try to promote like new users and give them all these views. So they will put all like the new users, like they post a video, they would send the shit out to like a whole bunch of people for you to see it.
Yeah.
So in this case, it was it was bad to do something like that because they weren't in control of that, right? They weren't in control like whatever video goes viral. So a video that went viral was somebody committing suicide live on Facebook and shit.
I saw that shit.
And then by the time they realized that shit, so many people fucking saw that shit. They're like, fuck.
Quick as fuck,
How
man.
the fuck are we going to handle shit like
Even
this?
Reddit was quick to stop it. So people was dropping links to the video.
Yeah, they're trying to come up with like new technology to where they can sense like somebody was about to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then they'll cut the video out. But there's like another argument they're saying like, okay, like how about like we just not cut the video out because the people in the chat can still prevent like the suicide from happening, right? So let's say because let's say the mom logged on. The mom was like, "Hey, stop it, Billy! Don't slice your throat."
Oh, and then that's when they'll pick up on it,
right? Because like, look, like if you're like in suicide mode, right? You're about to kill yourself. It only takes like one sentence to make you stop.
But again, I mean,
I'm not saying like it's that easy, but let's say it takes it from like a specific person to where it can get you to stop doing suicide. So they're trying to. It's a really sketchy.
I think I don't know if they should go off like the tone or what's going on, because when I saw the video and I saw that shit, holy
what was
fuck.
it? I didn't see it.
I saw the I heard about it, and then I was reading about it on Reddit, and then of course somebody on Reddit who's a degenerate like myself who left a link. It was like, this is it right here, and it sends you to this other website. It's called like hoodshit.com or whatever the fuck it's called, whatever. It's almost like Live Leaks type thing.
Was it like a military guy that did the suicide?
Man, hell no. His hair was like long as shit. He can't be in the military. But he was, I don't know why he did it. I don't know if it had something to do with a female or whatever, because it was like, the video was like 5 or 6 minutes long. I was like, man, okay, skip it through it.
Damn, you be watching that.
Yeah, she was whatever to me. And then he's on the phone, and then towards the end, he's like on the phone with somebody, and he's live streaming it, and then he's like on the phone with somebody. He's like, oh, so really, now you want to call me? I don't know what happened in between then and then when the fuck he got to this point. But he's like, oh, what? So now you want to call me? Okay, so this is like the last conversation you want to have with me? He's like, all right, fine. He hangs up his phone. And he's like, all right, folks, well, this is it. And he goes on the table and he pulls out the shotgun. He goes under his chin.
Oh, and you saw it?
I watched. I was like, holy fuck, is that shit real?
Where did
like,
you watch it?
It's like some hood shit, hoodshit.com or something, whatever. It's like some live leak type thing.
That's crazy.
Like, blew his shit completely off. I'm like, because he was like a dude, like, I can't remember his face exactly, but I think like long hair, glasses.
You're like a walking dark web.
Yeah, it don't bother me, man.
Fuck, that's crazy. I had no idea.
There's some love. I still have my limits, but it's kind of like, well, I'm not like fucking insane or whatever. But
wait, so the dude, he was talking to his girlfriend, right?
I'm assuming it was a girl or whatever, and I think he may have been like bitching and complaining throughout the whole video, I guess. Because then, and he might have
and this was all live on like Facebook.
I guess
supposedly.
When I first heard about it, it was like Facebook, and then I guess somehow, like you said,
like,
on TikTok.
like what location? Like, was he in his room? Was he like?
It looked like he was in like in a living room, but like or like a family room area.
So he was like in a home.
Yeah, he was at this house. He was in the house, and like
he looked like a normal dude. Like he wasn't dressed any fancy. Like he was a normal guy.
I used to like dude with long hair, glasses. I think he had like a beard or whatever, but maybe like some fuzz on his face, whatever. I just remember like. It's hard to remember his face because only thing I remember about him is what his face. I remember what his face looks like when it's gone. More than I remember his face.
Whoa,
that's what I'm trying to go back and remember like what he looked like. But he like winds up putting a shotgun underneath his chin. He pulls the trigger and he just blows it completely off. And he winds up falling back. And he used to like just like. Oh, I think the thing that was more disturbing about it was like you hear some like water running, but it's actually just his blood just falling out because he doesn't have a face. It's just gone. And he's like a dog.
It's just all the water running out of his body.
And yeah, the red water, that red wine.
Fuck, and that's crazy.
And then he's like he had like a little dog, I guess, in the house, and he just came walking into the room after he did it, and then it's like a little tiny little dog.
The dog didn't know nothing.
I was like food time, like he don't know what the fuck happened. Like he probably was like sleeping. And he was like, oh shit.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that shit went viral, man. I was like, holy fuck! Like this is the dude actually. He fucking did it.
I don't know how you watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy, I guess. I don't know.
Peso says, Army and the Marines are the hardest. Kate Long says, Marine trumps Army. Marines stay when the Army ran away.
I was Air Force.
Yo, Pesos was in the Marines.
I was Air Force, but not like
first to go, last to leave.
I was Air Force, but not like Chair Force.
That's what's up, dude.
I was Air Force with I was security forces. We basically act like fucking Army, and we got treated like the step kids. It was horrible, very very horrible. But
it's wild, man. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, for some reason, shit doesn't fucking like get to me like that. For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah, because you were around all that stuff. You were in the military for a while.
I've seen fucked up shit, and it was just like it sucked back then, and I'm pretty sure like I don't want to see it in person or whatever, but I mean, this shit is like, I don't know. I feel like some shit is like more like, shit that bothers me most, if it's more of like a psychological thing. Like, not so much as like what I see, but it's like what's starting to get into my head, like how deranged this world really is. But it's like, not so much as what you see, is just what you're starting to learn about things. That's what kind of scares me sometimes. It's like,
would you say like you're numb to like stuff like that? Like stuff like extreme, like as far as people dying and stuff? Would you say like you would be numb to that?
No. I can't say it because then there's times where like, no, not all time. There's times where I can be, but then eventually, especially if it's somebody like that I know and I love and I care about, I may seem like I'm numb to it then, but eventually it's gonna get the best of me. I just kind of like, I don't know. It's like I was almost like I have a delayed reaction to it because I don't know. Sometimes it's like I'd rather mourn by myself than mourn in front of other people because when I see other people get upset, I don't want to mourn with them because I always want to be that person that can lean on to when they're upset. But when it's me, like I can mourn by myself. I'm gonna have time for it. So
that's a lot of respect. That's what's up.
Oh, somebody said they saw it. Who said they saw it? Oh, Tenendo says just watched it. Holy hell. Yo, this shit's fucking crazy.
Tenendo, you wild as fuck.
Blew that shit all off. It's like...
Would you just look that up, Tenendo? You wild.
Dude, Reddit, you can just type in his name and it'll pop up. Easily. That's how I typed in his name and I got it. That was like the first try.
It's like Faces of Death shit, huh?
Oh, worse. That was actually worse than I seen. That shit is like... Yeah. It happened so fast. I'm like...
I can watch it, but I choose to not watch it. It's because like for me it's different. It's not like, oh, I'm scared to watch it. It's more like I think it's like disrespect to watch someone die like that.
I can see that.
Because like let's say if I got my head shot off, I don't want fucking a whole bunch of strangers watching me get my head fucking blasted off. Yeah. I would be like pissed off. I was like, dude, this is not for you guys. It's not meant for the world to see this shit, because you're dying. It's like you leaving the world and shit. That's why like I don't watch it like that because I think it's like a huge disrespect for those people.
For the dead, yeah.
That's why I just don't watch it.
But I think it's more disrespectful to the fact that he done it like that. I mean, and I'm not condoning suicide in any kind of way, but if you're gonna do it, like why does the world need to see you go through this moment?
Yeah, like I get it because like Teneno, he's like well, like he streamed it.
Yeah, that is
crazy.
I'm like he shouldn't have done that. I mean,
he want people to see it
and traumatize people,
right?
And it fucking worked because after I saw it,
if you stream it, dude, like fuck your soul. That's what you wanted, dude. You wanted the world to see you fucking die
because you were such a miserable.
I guess that's like that's different.
That's like I feel like it's like
you want people to see that. That's weird, but I guess that's different.
I feel like kind of like how some people like the saying goes like misery loves company because like they were probably miserable in their life at that time. In order for them to get to that point, they would have ruined everybody else's fucking day by like, hey, like I'm gonna fuck your day up while I end mine. So, I mean, in itself is a very I can't say it's a selfish act. 'Cause I hate saying it like that. It's more complicated than that of making that choice. It's many levels to it, but doing it the way he did it was very fucking selfish. And even at the end, I was like, holy fuck, dude, why would you do that?
It's like a weird way to get attention.
Like it worked, man, because that shit had fucking kids traumatized.
He was already,
I was reading about this.
Like his mind was already like at the end, Like he was at like that black wall, Like he was done. He was at a wall.
But it seemed like when I saw the video, it seemed like he was trying to hurt whoever he was talking to on the phone more than anything else because he's like, oh, so this is how you gonna land out in that last conversation? Okay,
was he young though? Was he a young guy?
Nah, he wasn't young. He's like I guess like almost like how I'm talking now. He's like, hey, like you know what? Like if
like in his 20s, right? For sure.
Yeah, I'd be like in his 30s maybe. If he in his 20s, he look old for his 20s.
Okay, so like early 30s at the most.
I would say
which is
that.
like our age and shit. So
I would say that.
Still young, very young.
Yeah, and I would say that he's around that age, and then he was just like, oh, so what? This is the last conversation you want to have? Fine. And he hangs up the phone. He's like, all right, guys, like this is it. I was like, holy fuck! Like that was like no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like he was like. He was already.
He was gonna do it. He's gonna do it regardless
for the whole week.
Yeah.
But then like when he was doing that, I guarantee you he was trash. And at that time.
And maybe that Joe.
You have to be.
You'd be surprised how many times people commit suicide drunk. That is shit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Nobody wants to do that shit sober. That's not an easy thing to do.
That is the only way to go. You gotta be fucking under some type of influence while you're doing that shit. Because, come on, you're going to be sober? You're going to fucking blast your head off?
I don't know.
That's when you fucking chicken out.
Unless you really, really want to fucking go. Like that's
like, when you see Lucifer on the shoulder saying, hey, are you a bitch?
Oh, you a pussy, you do it.
Pop,
like,
pop. 2 pops.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh, shit. What's everybody talking about in the chat?
That's wild,
I see some shit pop up.
You guys better not kill yourself.
Please don't, man. Stay with us.
Jesus Cristo. Oh, yeah, your computer died?
Yeah, my computer's dead. It says, opposite side. It is a teachable moment. That's from Real Pesos. Hell yeah, man. That's like, yo, that's I watched it. I was like, holy fuck, I don't want to go out like that, man. I know that shit's definitely close coffin for his ass because that's not where I want to go, man. Tanendo says, people now want to know the backstory. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really know the backstory, but I just remember he was like, I'm guessing it got to be a female or somebody he was interested, like, or that was probably into, or somebody was probably watching his live stream. He might be talking shit about the live stream, about how bad his life was, how he's going to kill himself. And somebody called pleading to him or something, maybe trying to stop him, or maybe he was just kind of like, oh, like, you want to argue with me right now while you hear me doing this? Okay, fine. Well, folks, see you later.
It's crazy because, like, you know, like when people die, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the longest you can think about somebody at one certain amount of time?
What do you mean?
Like the most you can think about somebody, like in a certain time frame,
But
before you think about something else.
That's passed away, or what do you mean? Oh, something like somebody I care
like
about?
Like anybody you care about. Like, what's the longest you can think about somebody before you think about something else?
It depends how much I like them or what. Like, it's different, I guess. I mean,
okay, well, the study shows that the average time frame you could think about somebody was like between 20 and 30 minutes.
that's about right. Yeah,
And then within that time frame, you're already thinking about something else.
yeah, something else might happen in that.
So
time
here's
frame,
like a thing, like for people that's trying to commit suicide. Once you commit suicide, right? Okay, people are gonna mourn for you. They're gonna feel sorry for you and shit. But like, okay, because you did it because you want like some type of attention. Like, hey, nobody fucking gave you attention and shit. You're trying to say, hey, you know, I did this or whatever. I don't give a fuck no more. But I kind of want that type of attention and shit. Mm. But people, even like when you pass somebody you're close with, okay, you think about them, right? But you only think about them in a certain amount of time frame to where, okay, you're done thinking about them, but you're not doing like intentionally. You're already thinking about something else.
Okay, something else takes priority of like your main thought. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you just got to think like that's just how the human brain is.
Yeah, this is why I like that.
You're always gonna be thinking about something else. It's not because like okay, like you don't feel sorry for them or whatever, because it could be somebody that's like very close to you and shit, and you want to like be stuck in that emotion where you're thinking about them like that.
But like people got their own lives to live, got shit to do.
Right. I mean, there's always going to be something that's coming up, man. So thinking about like that next time, like if you ever thinking about, hey, doing suicide, like, hey, the person that you're trying to get attention to, they're probably crying for you for like 20 minutes and 30 minutes later, they're thinking about what kind of food they want to eat.
And it's kind of like, oh, why they ain't talking to me about it no more? Because they're probably talking to so-and-so girl I like, or I used to love, is probably talking to some other dude. And
it's so easy to forget to somebody that has passed away. It's so easy to forget about them and think about something completely different.
Yeah, especially like when you look back on it, it's just like that's when.
Yeah, so like with the suicide, don't think of it as like, hey, you're trying to show somebody else like, oh yeah, I'm committing suicide to make you feel bad about this. But then the person you're trying to make feel bad, they end up like, okay, they felt bad about it, but then they're moving on with their life.
They're gonna move
like
on.
Within less than an hour. And like, did you get like what you wanted?
It is like
that's why suicide is crazy.
That is the same. Like, don't make long-term decisions off of temporary problems. Like, don't be like, okay, like I'm upset, like with this person who's making me upset, so I'm gonna make a choice that's gonna just end it all. Yeah. But then it's hard to talk somebody down from that shit. And to me, it's.
Yeah, it is very difficult because on top of that, like somebody who's already thinking about committing suicide, they're already influenced with like drugs. Did I spit somewhere?
No,
I saw my spit.
I probably went in my drink.
Yeah, I probably did. Probably like SARS or something. Yeah,
nice.
Cambodian virus.
I knew you were gonna say something Cambodian. I was waiting for you to say something like Cambodian saliva.
Yeah, anybody who's thinking about like suicide, they're already thinking about like whatever they can influence themselves with, like as far as like with drugs to numb it. Alcohol will be like the number one choice because that's the most easily available shit. Yeah. Or like people like on pills and shit, they would fucking splurge out on pills, and
once they get themselves together, then they go and do it.
That's
like,
wild,
it's just, but alcohol definitely just like and it sucks too, man. I've gone to so many fucking funerals, especially when I was in the military, of like this suicide, man. It is exhausting.
Wait, so when you were in the military, you dealt with a whole bunch of suicide?
Most of the funerals I've gone to were suicide related. Almost every single one of them was suicide.
While they were in the military?
It don't matter. Like,
what was like the reason for that though? Was it like they couldn't handle like all the stress with the military and shit? So they're just like, fuck it, I'd rather fucking die and make you guys kind of feel bad about me and shit?
No, it's been for everybody. It's been some reasons I never even knew what the hell it was. But the reasons I've heard, like at least some of the reasons I've heard was like, just like issues with marriages, people cheating on each other, shit like that. And it's just like they don't know where to turn with it, and ain't nobody gonna. And the military has like and the military and if you look it up, man, I can't speak for the rest of the Air Force. I don't know how the fuck everything else is. Or any other, what any other branch with the military is, but I know like with the Air Force and especially with security forces, which I was in, its track record of dealing with suicide is fucking horrible, and it's like, and at the same time, it's like as much as I wanted to blame like maybe leadership or trying to want to stop it or anything like that, it's a very hard thing to catch because if somebody wants to kill themselves, they're not gonna be like, I want to do it. I'm gonna put it on social media like they're gonna do that shit. They're gonna fucking do it. I had a supervisor who offed himself one time, and he posted up like a 4 or 6
like
page.
What do you mean like off himself?
Like he fucking killed himself in his garage, and he shot him. It was the craziest shit ever. But the time that we saw that was posted up on Facebook, I had already got a phone. Like I had just got a phone call. Like I think
so your supervisor?
No. Somebody told me that my supervisor Tom posted this suicide note on his Facebook. By the time I looked it up and I started reading it, I got a phone call from my unit like, hey, come in. We need to do a squadron recall. And this is like, for anybody who's in the military, at least Air Force, security forces know this. When you do like a squadron recall, it's the middle of the... if it happens in the middle of the day, let's say like maybe around noon, 2 o'clock, somebody's fucking dead. That's how you know, because it's like so random. Actually, I had somebody I knew before that we had to do a squadron recall, which means don't matter where you at, if you out eating, you at a restaurant, you at home, you at with the wifey, having sex, whatever the fuck you doing, squadron recall, you stop everything. You need to be there as fast as possible. Don't fucking shave. Don't do it. Don't even worry about putting on a fucking uniform. Just show up at your unit. You get there, more than likely, somebody kill themselves. And it's been got to the point like when you're at squadron recall and your supervisor will call you and let you know, like, hey, we got squadron recall. You hear ASAP. Like, all right. You're like, who the fuck killed themselves now? Wow, showed up and then
that's crazy.
And then when
that's cool, but that's crazy.
It's fucking. This is like you get there and you're like, okay, who killed themselves? You find out, you're like, this motherfucker showed no signs ever of like fucking wanting to do this ever.
It's usually like that, right?
It catches you off
like
guard,
people
man.
that kill themselves, like it's just usually like fucking from left field. You never even seen that shit coming.
It just hits you, man, like out of like nowhere, and you're like, I was just talking to this motherfucker yesterday or the day before, or just like we cracking
that happened
jokes
while you were like in the military.
It's happened plenty of times, and it's like,
and
you
crazy.
think back when he's like, this motherfucker.
It's wild how like a lot of people don't speak out about that shit.
When you look back, like with like even with hindsight 2020, and I think back on shit, I'm like, this dude didn't show no shit at all that he was gonna do this, and you just don't like.
You just don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing. You just don't know what nobody's going through.
And I can't like at one time, and I even know I know now, like even with military, and it's probably like with any other people in a position of leadership with any job where suicide may be prevalent, it's hard to catch that shit because how are you gonna know that that's what they're thinking? Like nobody's a mind reader. I mean, some people may show signs or whatever, but they might have to. The closest people to this person who's gonna do it are only the ones who could probably catch it. But you have to be like, even then, it might be hard to catch. So it's like,
I think it's very hard to catch that shit, dude.
You might, at the end of the day, I think instead of being proactive of trying to find out who's gonna do this to themselves, it's not being. I guess the word I'm looking for is like retroactive. I don't know if that's the right word to use for it, but like instead of like trying to find the people that's gonna off themselves, work in his work area, start trying to change the work area in itself. Like you can't catch everybody doing it, but maybe it might be the work environment or whatever. But make it like, I don't know.
It has to be something like really personal though.
Yeah, but maybe out there, but then it also might be outside the household. But I mean, it's hard to catch though. Either way, I mean,
dude, if somebody already 100% legit is committed to doing suicide,
I mean,
it's like 95%. You're not gonna save them, dude. They're gonna commit that shit, and they.
Yeah.
You ever heard of suicide practice?
Like, would you just like go through the motions of like what's gonna be like, click click with a gun or something? Like, okay.
They practice suicide. And if you die, you fucking completed your.
Oh, so you pretend you're going through the practice? Oh, so you go through the practice, and then you go through with it.
I listened to like this one album. It talks about like suicide practice and shit.
Mm-hmm.
it got a little dark, man.
Damn, I've never
Had to jump off that shit. Cause
See, shit like that. I mean,
I was about to jump off the bridge.
like, as long as I don't.
I'm just playing, guys.
see, like, if like, so what that video I saw earlier with that dude offering himself, right? It was like Ronnie McNutt. When he did
Look, Peso's real, dude. I'm not saying you're a fake, but Peso says, the real ones don't tell nobody. And that's true. Like if you're committed to like the suicide, you don't fucking tell nobody. You just run that shit. Leave your note and run it.
Yeah.
That's like the real legit suicide. It's not the one you commit suicide. Like you're egging that shit on. You're like all right guys. Like you'll type it in your social media. All right guys, I'm gonna do this suicide now.
This is it. This is the big one.
I'm at the edge of the building. Those are the fucking.
Because that's like saying like I'm gonna rob a bank. This is like if I was gonna rob a bank, I'm not gonna tell you I'm robbing a bank because my success will be better. Mm-hmm. Or if I tell you, that means I want you to stop me.
Right.
Or I want you to call the cops. But if I'm gonna rob a bank, I don't tell nobody. Like,
right.
I mean,
like if I was doing suicide, I write my notes, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Leave it on a brick. Fucking chuck that shit in the air. Be like, all right, I'm out. Figure this shit out, guys.
And it's a slippery slope. It could be a slippery slope, man. Cause I'm pretty sure there's almost everybody's playing at some point about like, what if I off myself? And more average people don't go through it. I mean, I don't even know what the number is for. Maybe I don't know, but it's tough, man. And it sucks for the ones who have to stay behind and like, you know, you have to guess for the rest of your life of like what you could have done different. And
Tendon says like casinos, bro, casinos. People losing money at the casinos at a high rate. Yo, suicide is actually big, like in Vegas.
That's bro.
Because a lot of people like either they go there to have fun, have a vacation, and then the other half is like they go there, they know they're gonna lose everything, and they're like, "Fuck it, this is like my last shot at whatever the fuck they're doing."
This is it, man. The big one.
Because like all those hotels, those casinos, they don't have like those balconies, right? That's like, it's like illegal to have those balconies on those casinos.
This got the window, yeah.
Right, but there's this one casino that opened up and they had like that balcony. Because they're saying like the suicide rate is high in Las Vegas.
I'm not surprised, dude. All that drinking and then gambling, you lose money, and then you're like, "Fuck this, my wife's gonna kill me."
Yep, exactly. So then they open up like a casino, and they had like the balconies open and shit for the the people in the hotels. Dude, the fucking suicide rate went up so fucking high because everybody was jumping out the balconies.
The balconies, man, that's a
so
horrible
they're like,
idea.
okay, we got to get rid of these balconies. So fucking that shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. A lot of times in the hotels, they keep the fucking windows locked up, dude.
Yeah, those windows should be all fucking blocked off. Like, there should be no balcony, period, on your fucking your hotel room. That shit should be all blocked off.
My job's calling me. I'm not going in tomorrow.
They're trying to get you, man.
I hope they don't watch this podcast. I'm not going in there. I can't. I got shit I got to do.
Read this one.
Which one? Okay, Real Peso says, if I go out, I'm buying a bunch of... I just saw the first word. Real Peso says, if I go out, I'm buying a bunch of blow and hookers and going out when they run out. Not saying I've thought about it, but I'm gonna live it up if I go. If I decide to go out that way, I'm gonna just do a drug overdose.
Wait, what did he say?
No, he's saying like it says if I go out, I'm buying a bunch of blow and hookers and going out when they run out. Like the hookers, the blow, all that shit.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Go out like that shit.
Imagine fucking dying while you're busting one.
Oh!
Because you ever hear like the stories like people, they're having sex in like this high scale hotel room, right? But they're having sex like on the window. And then the window happens to break.
Oh my god, I don't want to go out that way.
And then the dude, he still has his penis inside her while they're both falling to the ground to their death.
Well, what is his penis like a hook? Why she don't just pop out? Like, how you going with her?
He got that long D, man.
I'm like, get your legs off me, bitch! And then just like pulling their legs around.
I'm pretty sure his penis was out by the time they landed. Because they hit the ground so hard, his dick popped out, whatever, and shit.
Splat into different spots.
But you can tell, okay, they're both naked. Like, all right, they're having sex in the fucking hotel room.
What's this white stuff mixed with all this blood?
AKA it's champagne room.
Now I've hear stories about people fucking against that window and they're like, And
that window's not that strong.
It's not, man.
They cannot hold that vigorous activity where you're just penetrating your...
You got a whole fucking hotel. Why are you up against a window? Like, that is...
It's exciting, Chris.
You got a bathroom. You got everything else. You got all over the place.
Yeah, they did all that. So now it's the window
No, I don't do no. I'm afraid of heights. I don't even like looking out of high
that's
windows.
facing the street.
Like, babe, I'm gonna make your world go wow. Just like
That's fucked up. But it happens.
it just doesn't happen.
It happens.
Real Pacer says, not trying to joke, just my preference. Hey, man. If I go out, if I'm going to choose my way out, if it's going to be like some suicide shit, do every drug on the planet. I'm going out. Shit, when I hit like fucking 80, if I'm still hanging in, I'm trying every drug after that, baby. That's it. I'm like, yo, give me that black tar. Like, yo, shoot me up. And then, fucking man,
I say everybody try all the drugs.
Yeah, man.
Like, don't hate till you try it.
Don't hate, participate.
Especially like with psychedelics, man. To me, I think everybody should try psychedelics at least one time.
Oh, Tenendo says 10 bottles of NyQuil. Boy, you crazy. I took a swig the other night. I took a swig last week and almost fucking died.
You want to tell them your story? And then we can clock out?
Yes. All right.
Yo, Chris got a story about him doing NyQuil.
Okay, yeah. So I took like
So listen to the story and then we're going to clock out because my stomach hurt.
I took like 4 what do you think it's called? I can't think of it.
Melatonin?
There you go. 4 melatonin, and then chewed them up. And this is like last week, right, guys? This is like last Wednesday. I've been like having issues going to sleep and whatnot. So I like popped 4 melatonin, fell asleep, right? Woke up an hour later. There we go. Woke up an hour later, and I was like, fuck. And I was wide awake. And I was like, okay, I'll go to the bathroom, pee, whatever. Came back, and I was like, try to lay down, relax. Couldn't. And I think it lasted like maybe about 45 minutes, almost to an hour. I'm like, I'm still wide awake. Okay, I'm gonna drink some NyQuil. Took like a couple swigs of NyQuil, put the cap back on, went to sleep. And I felt the NyQuil started kicking. Like, I don't know everybody who drinks NyQuil, but when you feel it kicking in,
Boomer Bob does.
You feel like your whole body's kind of like, just like sink. And you just like,
your muscles
just relax. Like, fuck it.
It's so relaxed where it feels weird.
Yeah, it feels
For
like.
me, I don't like it.
It feels like your body's like, somebody turns off the switch and your body's like, pew.
I hate it. I can't even sleep like that.
I love it. And I even feel my fingers and eyes like twitching and shit. I'm like, oh, this is it. So that happens, right? I go to sleep. When I wake up, for anybody watching, I'm using air quotes. When I wake up, I'm inside like this little machine, and it says like all I see in front of me at first is like level 35, and underneath that says pause, and this machine opens up and I get up out this chair. I look in the mirror. I'm like this tall, like buff black dude. I'm like got a beard and shit. I'm like,
it's like you in a dream, but you're seeing yourself coming out of like a pod and shit.
Yeah, I'm getting out of a pod, but I'm like, it's all like first person, like a first person video game. But I'm like,
but you feel like it's real though, right?
Yeah,
like you're in the dream, but you realize like
okay,
it could possibly be real.
Like I'm like everything's still real to me at first, but I know when I first get out, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my hands. I'm like, okay, like is this real? What I'm going through right now? I'm like, okay, let me try to like get my bearings. I get up out the chair and I go to the mirror. I see my face, and I'm wearing like anybody who's played the game like Fallout. I was wearing almost kind of like a vault jumpsuit or whatever, but it was like gray or something like that. Yeah. It had like a number on it. And I remember I washed my face and then I walked out into the hallway. And there was other people wearing the same vault suit as me walking past, chit-chatting up or whatever. And that's when I was walking like, hey, what's up? Talking to some people on the way to like the cafeteria. I get there. It's all these other people like in jumpsuits with different numbers on their jumpsuit, but they're sitting there eating lunch or whatever. I sit down, talk to some people, chat it up. And then after I eat, I go back to my room and I get on a computer and I like FaceTime my girlfriend, who's like this badass chick. I don't know where she came from in this dream, but I'm talking to her. She's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm stuck on like level so and so." But we're going back and forth talking, or whatever. And then she's like, "Okay." Well, and then I remember I looked at my watch. I was like, "Hey, I gotta go. I love you, babe." I was like, "All right, see you too, bye." And then I logged off the computer, got back in the chair when that little machine I was in closed around me. It's like I took it off pause, and that's when I woke up. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Whoa, that's crazy.
And then when I realized what was going on, it's like, wait, level 35. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fucking 35 years old. Because I remember I told you earlier too. Like I was
like you were in a dream, and then you woke up in a completely different reality.
Fucking crazy. And remember I told you like I was walking past somebody. I think I remember it was in the hallway or in the cafeteria, but somebody was like, "Man, I can't believe I'm stuck on fucking level 12 right now." I was like, okay, so, but when I woke up,
you're
I was
like 12-year-old kid,
and it was like he stuck. He can't.
He died.
And I was like, maybe he got killed at 12.
Yeah,
and he has to start over again.
He's stuck on level 12. And you're over here at fucking level 35,
And I'm
like
like,
a fucking elite character.
And I paused it in my dream, like, okay, I'm like, okay, let me. Because I remember when I walked
and
out.
what's crazy is because you said you went back in your pod and then you fucking but then you fucking woke up.
And I woke up, I went to the mirror, I was like, looked at my face, washed my face, and then
That's some fucking straight up Avatar shit.
walked out my room. And it's like people walking past me, always in a jumpsuit. And remember I said, like, I walked past this part of a room was like a glass mirror and like a glass window, but people in the gym working out and shit. And my brain's thinking, like, because we're sitting in these chairs for so long, you got to keep your motor skills going. That's why people are working out, getting their legs working out, because you just laying there for like hours on end.
You're living like a Black Mirror shit.
Yo, that's like I went to the cafeteria, ate some food, chatting up with people and shit. Went back to my room, like, hey, baby, how's it going? Like, oh, yeah, we're doing good. Da, da, da. And I'm like, I look at my watch, like, oh, I got to go. I love you. Get off.
Yo.
Got back in the chair. Boom.
So what's the real
Woke up
you?
as Chris. I don't know.
What's the real you? Is the real you, like, this is like the pretend you, like the play you?
I don't know.
And your real body is actually sleeping right now in another pod.
Just like, it's kind of like stasis.
Like living the dream, and then this is what
I'm controlling
This is what
this shit
he's
in the sim. I'm controlling this shit in the
But
sim.
then, like, he's seeing this shit right now because you see, like, body is completely different. It's like a buff dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Completely different body. But he's dreaming about you, like, right now.
And then what if I go sleep tonight? He wakes up, he's like, fuck, I think this shit's been compromised. Like, he knows. And then, like,
Yes, dude.
oh my God.
Yo, if Chris
cut the
dies
show
tomorrow,
off.
you guys already know.
We know that.
You already know what happened, dude.
If y'all don't remember me tomorrow, then y'all know they
You ever seen that
changed
movie,
the system.
Adjustment Bureau?
Oh, that shit sounds so familiar. What was it about? What was it about? Adjustment Bureau.
Matt Damon, Adjustment Bureau, he figures
Man,
out, like,
no.
somebody's, like, controlling his path and shit.
No, you
And
and
then
Bob been telling me about that for years to watch that shit.
I think you need to watch that the most.
Okay.
Adjustment Bureau.
You
Watch it.
You and Bob told me about that a long time ago.
Maybe like 3 years ago. We
Yeah.
kept telling you to watch it.
And I kept
guess you never
forgetting.
watched it.
No, cause I kept thinking about the Ben Affleck movie. I get the motherfuckers confused. But he plays like an accountant.
Yeah, they're like
He's
buddies,
Yeah,
so,
they're
like, yeah.
buddies, man. Like, oh my
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
yeah, he was the shit in Phantoms or whatever they fucking said. Real Pacer says, that's some next level shit. No pun intended. He says,
Yo, he
good
has
idea
some,
for a
he has
movie.
some fucking crazy shit. That's why, like,
I've been having
when
trippy dreams, dude.
Chris, he tells me stories like that. I can't imagine, like, the visuals he would see if he would actually take an acid trip.
I've been having like lucid dreams, like out the ass, dude. Like, there's a lot of times where
You're like dreaming, right?
I know
So
I'm
you're
dreaming.
like, oh fuck, I'm in like the Enterprise right now. It's Star Trek and shit.
yeah, and then but for some
But
reason,
you know you're dreaming. You're like, oh, okay, cool. I know I'm dreaming, but I'm gonna fucking enjoy this moment.
But for some reason in this dream, I didn't realize I was dreaming. I'm using air quotes until when I woke up. I was like, holy fuck, that was a dream. I was like, but I literally, like I said, I got lucid dreams all the time. That one, I was just going through the paces, like, okay, I'm on my break right now. Let me get like, hey, walking around, hey, what's up, Jim?
crazy.
Eating food,
I
whatever.
believe that shit, dude.
When I woke up, I was
I
like,
think I believe it more than you. I think that's real.
I don't want to believe it, man. That's
Yeah.
you heard it here first. I don't want to believe it.
I
Cause I
think
remember,
that's real, dude.
cause I remember when I woke.
I believe like you actually like your real life might be like that, and you right now
oh,
is you. Your real person is dreaming about you.
Oh, and dig this shit,
know.
right? When I
I
woke,
said that kind of weird, but
and I forgot to tell you this too. When I went to that dream and when I woke up after I took the melatonin and drank the NyQuil, right? When I woke up, you know how much time passed?
10 minutes.
Fucking like 15 minutes passed.
Wow.
And I was going through the motions of like everything that's going on doing all this shit. Some hours in
Avatar
passed.
shit.
Go back in. And I wake up. I'm like, holy fuck, that was like only 15 minutes. I was like, and I remember when I woke up, my lips were like shaking and everything. I was like, I couldn't stop shaking. And I felt like a
it's
side of
so
my
real.
face was like this. I was like, did I have a fucking stroke? Like my whole face just got numb for a second. Scared the
Damn.
fuck out of me. I was like, oh, okay.
I believe you were really in that world, dude.
I don't want to believe that shit. Hopefully, I'm trying to remember what and I was trying to remember for the
you're
life
so,
of me.
You're so lucky, man. You have no idea, dude.
I don't want to say that shit again.
How did you do it?
What? 4 melatonin and NyQuil?
Right down the steps, and then
what's the ingredients? Fucking almost OD'd on melatonin and fucking NyQuil.
that's crazy, man.
Gotta push yourself to the
I
brink
do
of
that
death.
like all the time. I never reach
Push
like
yourself to
that peak unless I take like an acid or whatever.
like this is death. You gotta get like right here. Like you gotta get this edge.
I can't imagine like you on acid.
Oh my god! Like don't touch me. Let me just.
You might be like a fucking elite general and shit.
I might trip out when
And
I
then
come
you're
out
looking
of it.
at like Billy Waters, like, hey, Billy Waters, you're all the way down there. And you're like all the way at the top of the mountain.
Top
I
general.
was like, fuck.
No, I could see myself coming out of him like, fuck, why'd you let me out, man? I was so happy there.
Damn, that's so crazy.
Why am I here?
Dude.
That shit ain't fucking real.
Man, I would follow your every command.
But I'm on, was it?
I can see that shit right now, dude. I'm looking up at Chris. I'm like, fuck, I know you, man.
Real Pacer says, because he had said before too, he's like, that's a good idea for moving. We might.
Yeah, fucking Avatar did that.
Yeah. But I was be better though, man. I was gonna be that over like fucking blue CG shit. We gonna have some real shit.
That's a cool dream, man. You should do like that more often, man. Do melatonin and fucking take shots.
I took melatonin last night because I was like, I couldn't go to sleep. Because the reason why I started taking melatonin because I have this habit of like biting my tongue in my sleep a lot to where like I'll wake up and my tongue is throbbing, and I'm like, okay, I need to take something like I don't like wearing a mouth guard, but melatonin just helps me to like relax to the point where
Because you're acting out your dream.
oh something's getting intense. I'm like I'll wake up and I'm like, why does my tongue feel weird? And I'll pull my tongue and it's clenched between my teeth. I'm like, what the fuck? To the point where I'm bruising my tongue now, and this has been going on like since early this year. So when I take melatonin, it makes me relax more. I'm biting my tongue. I'm like in my sleep, or whatever.
Damn, you don't wear
The thing
like
is,
a mouth
though,
guard?
I'll be like, I got bad guy reflexes. That's why I couldn't be like no gay porn star. I'm like, as soon as I put the top on him, I'm like, you know what? Let me just like sleep on my back so my tongue just falls back and not in between my teeth. I need to figure out different ways. This shit ain't gonna work. But yeah, that's maybe we in sim. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
We got a full good episode, right?
Hell yeah, man! This was a beefy one.
We got
Surprisingly,
a solid episode. So we're gonna just go ahead and end this episode.
hell yeah.
Thank you everybody for joining us. And once again, if you guys want some t-shirts, go to themediahijack.com. And then for you guys that listen to us on iTunes, subscribe, give us that 5 stars, get us into that algorithm where we're like with the other guys and shit.
Please.
But yeah, and then you can also visit our YouTube. We just made the YouTube.
Oh yeah.
If you guys want to watch a live video, go to our YouTube. The media, just look up the Media Hijack.
Yeah. One word, right?
Yeah.
I actually trying to look it up one time. I was like, did it get deleted? But it separated to 2 words.
Yeah, because it's not like a real name like that. Because we have to get a certain amount of subscribers
To actually make it legit. Yeah.
We only got like 4 subscribers.
Subscribe, motherfuckers, please.
So make that like 7 by the time we're done with the show.
Please.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.